knowledge. But there is a phase which we should pass, which is, starting integrating with the broader crypto community. I see us going full force on the whole algo trading MEV problem in crypto. The more vacuum that true decentralization enables, the more people feel that there's a true need for them to come up and contribute. The main metric that I prefer using is the speed of the block rate. Internet speed of a proof of work system. DAG is not a solution at all. DAG is a problem. It's just the right way of forming the problem. I think the problem is more interesting. You should grind on the problem. Like, am I trying to solve something that I prove that is impossible? Whether we will achieve my dream of 100 blocks per second, you'll need to compromise. You'll need to give up on something. And now ask yourself, does it smell right? Do they promise too much? I know the people that have spoken, Satoshi and engaged with him. These are really, serious cypherpunks. I personally know dozens of people who are much more Satoshi than me. Okay, this is exactly what Satoshi would have said. I envision the parallelism of Solana, designed with the zero-knowledge rollups implemented on Ethereum. You bake them together into Kaspa. Both in terms of actual features and in terms of culture, I would really wish for the community to start opening our perspective. I think that's probably my biggest wish for Kaspa community.
Central hands, no single key. Hash rate flows in harmony. Block DAG leads, the pace is clear. Decentralized path, no fear. Blocks confirm, no room for lies. In this network, truth applies. Block by block, the system's fair. Decentralized, beyond compare. Transparency flows, the data's strong. Kaspa proves the doubters wrong. No pool controls, the power's shared. A network built, the load's well bared. Parallel paths, no delays to find. Kaspa's logic redefines. No congestion, no control. Every block completes the goal. Block by block, the system's fair. Decentralized, beyond compare. Transparency flows, the data's strong. Kaspa proves the doubters wrong. True, every block builds the future. No shortcuts, no manipulation, just pure innovation.
fuck out of bed, bitch, go. Get up, and then they got go. Time to wake up, bitch, get up. Get up, get up.
Hey, yo, good evening. Welcome to Blockchain Banter, episode 59. How you doing, Chris? What's going on, man?
Really good, thanks, mate. You?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm buzzing, actually. Been waiting all day for this space. I've got a day off tomorrow, so I can really take it in and take my time.
Going to be a good one. Got Cassia up, so I mean, most people in Kaspa should know about Cassia now, but it's really cool to get some sort of a deep dive into them. It would be fantastic. Nice profile picture, by the way.
Oh, thanks, mate. That is thanks to Kaspa Lady. Amazing piece. He, she, they did for me. Appreciate it. It was a Kaspa-fied or Kaspa rendition of my original PFP, which is awesome, man. I love the hovering Kaspa on the left plus the little logo on the t-shirt. It blends well.
Anything that is Kaspa-fied automatically becomes 20 times better.
Fucking awesome. I said to them on the timeline, if you Kaspa-fy my PFP, I'm gonna slap it on, no problem. And she was like, say no more, hold my beer.
Well, she's done a fantastic job. Do we actually know if Chris? I'm assuming Crypto Lady's a lady, because
yeah, I don't know how every time I see that type of names, I always just assume, right? It's just the first thing that I think of it. It's a lady, right? But
I mean, it makes sense.
Find out.
Whoever they are, they do a fantastic job
with
churning out some incredible memes and pictures. And again, this is what's beautiful about the Kaspa space and the Kaspa community, is there's so many talented people out there that just do because I don't know who they are, but they done incredible stuff in seconds for us, didn't they? Well, when I say incredible stuff, it was Nick accepted here, wasn't it? But they done Nick accepted here in like 10 seconds flat. I'd barely written the post and it's already had already done it. And yeah, it's just really cool to see, because you've got so many awesome people who are really smart in their own ways, doing incredible things for Kaspa. And what I really like is, even through the Bitcoin debate that was on, and just throughout X, the community so strong. It blows my brain sometimes how incredible this community is, and I've genuinely, I think that's just because it's so conviction driven. We know why we're here and we know what Kaspa is, and the more we learn about it, it blows your brain. So yeah, I mean, it's really cool to see.
Yeah, 100%, and I think we'll dive a bit more into it later. But I think the biggest thing that shines out of that whole situation is the fact that the community is so strong together. It's insane how everyone rallied behind it and figured out it's the same thing, backed each other up, and we're like, hang on a minute, what's going on? You know what I mean? It was awesome to see, to be honest. I just felt myself getting involved as well, defending it and backing up some Caspians on a timeline. Just awesome.
Well, you got the strongest community out here by far. I genuinely believe that. And it's good because, like I said, it's not it's not that sort of hype driven community where everyone's just going to the moon, bro. It's actually there's actual substance to why people want to be in Kaspa rather than price go up, and I like that. I think that's where you grow real conviction, and you get the good people in, and we got incredible people. Like I said, the people are smart in loads of different ways, and we got a broad spectrum of smart people now in Kaspa, and it's good to see. Anyway, who have we got up today, Levendi?
So we've got Nacho, Wolf, and Zealous up on stage already, and we also have Cassia joining us. I'm not sure who did you say was representing. Have you got the name, the X handle?
Izio Dev. I can see him down at the bottom there. If you can request Izio, and then awesome. We can put you up on stage.
100%. I can't wait to dive into everything, all the updates from the guys up here on the panel, and have a chat with people behind Cassia, man. Good little. I don't know how to. I don't know how to explain it, because at first I didn't really know what to make of it. But as time went on and as more updates came into it, I realized how incredible it was. So yeah, I can't wait to dive in.
Well, this is why it's a perfect opportunity to actually speak to people that are building Cassia, because some people may not understand the need for it or the use case for it. And that's fine. This is a perfect opportunity to learn about it. But I've used Cassia, and I think it is just awesome. And I know that the guys are working hard to implement more updates and push it further along. And it's, like I said already, it's fantastic. So they've done incredible work so far. Is that a good segue? Are we going to start with Izio Dev then? Awesome. Sounds like it. Okay, so Izio Dev, how are you doing? Not sure if it's my end, but I definitely couldn't hear that.
No, I can't hear it either.
Same here.
It's a shame because Izzy is giving us all the secrets about how you're going to make the max amount of money in the bull run.
Yeah. Oh, such a shame. I think we're having connection problems, or it may be mic problems. I'm not sure. I mean, the key question to ask is, do they use Android or iPhone?
Stop it.
I'd say going off of the start so far, probably Android, but we'll see.
Here we go. Here we go. Is there Android support on Cassia? Right, there is, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I've got
and iPhone, but get this. iPhone came first, and then they've done some support on Cassia.
iPhone came first, got perfected on Android. Got it. Just like Bitcoin came first, and then Kaspa perfected. Okay, I understand.
Terrible. Izio, I thought I may have heard you. Could you try again, please?
Is anyone talking? It's just fine.
1, 2, 3. No.
No, it's really crackly, unfortunately. Ooh. I think it may be mic connection problems. No, can't.
I think Wolf was having issues as well. He said he couldn't hear anyone talking.
Okay, so
Awesome. Izio? I think I heard Izio there. Hello?
does it work or is it bad?
Oh, it's quite bad still. I mean, but it's getting better slowly. Where you're coming through, ish.
You know what we should do? Just do the whole space via Cassia. We can just ask questions like that, and I'll relay them to everyone.
Oh, good. Bro, that would be awesome. Hey, can you imagine hosting a space on Cassia direct from there? Just every time we speak or unmute the mic, it's a transaction.
Oh, don't. That'd be awesome. Or just like live streaming. Well, we'll see if that's even a possibility, hopefully. But that would be incredible.
I don't know. I think ACO is having issues. I don't know whether you want to unplug your headphones, drop down, come back up, see if that works. But we can dive into some updates from some of our other guests, Chris. In the meanwhile,
Yeah, that seems fine. Yeah, if you're okay with that, Izio, yeah, maybe drop up and drop down again, or unplug and plug back in. And in the meantime, I will move on to who have we got? Have we got anyone on the time crunch, Levendi?
I'm not too sure. Nacho, Wolf, Zealous, you guys have any time crunch? We would like to go first, or we all right to go on with the
I'm
show?
good, but I usually like at exactly 11 o'clock my eyes close, so it could be that.
We'll get you at 10 to 11 then.
Okay,
Okay,
cool.
cool.
Yeah, sounds. Well, I guess let's
I'm
dive
good
in
on
with Wolf
time
then.
today too, Levendi, so no worries.
Nice one, Ashton. Awesome.
Shall we
Zealous,
go with Zealous then? Shall we move on to Zealous, and then hopefully Izio Dev's got his mic sorted, and we'll move on to them. Maybe on to Wolf or Nacho, either or, depending on what the time is.
Cool.
And then yeah, go to
Sounds
open.
like a plan. Izio just said they're trying a new browser and they're going to try and come back up. So we'll see how that goes.
Perfect. So we'll move on to Zealous Swap then. How are you guys doing? Long time no speak.
Hey guys, I miss you all. How have you been?
We missed you too, man. But I
It's
know
been a
you've
while.
been building.
Yeah,
You've been building in the background.
yeah, and I was a bit sick a couple of weeks ago, so I couldn't watch the blockchain banter.
Oh no, gutting. I hope you're all right now then.
Yeah, it was food poisoning.
Food poisoning?
Yes.
Gutting. What did you have? Was it worth the poisoning?
No, not really. It's like a salad. It's a Lebanese salad. We call it tabbouleh.
Yeah, you said salad, and I sort of just thought, yeah, that's definitely not worth it.
No.
So sorry to hear that, man. But yeah, I mean, please give us all the updates that you've got on Zealous Swap, because I know, like I said, I know you guys have been building out, and I saw the post recently that you put out about you're going to be testing alongside Caravel, Icarus testnet, which is awesome.
Yes, that's correct. So we will release our testnet also on Igra. It will also be incentivized. We're waiting for Igra to release their Caravel testnet, and we'll be pretty much ready to launch them. Other than that, we've been doing some upgrades to the DEX. We're making it smoother. We've added support for more languages. I think around 18 more languages. Chinese, Italian, Portuguese, Japanese, German, Russian, Turkish, and Arabic. We've even added support for the DEX to go from right to left to support like languages like Arabic. And we've made it seamless. There's no interruption between changing languages. So let's say you're doing a swap. Even if you change the language while doing a swap, no reload will happen. It will just change the text directly. So you can change languages whenever you want, without any interruption to the experience. Yeah, that's basically our updates. We've added also support for more wallets. We've added Kaspa support, Trust Wallet, Gate.io, BitGet. Yeah, pretty much that's the development side. Also, we've been improving our indexers and backend infrastructure. And this is from the development side updates.
I mean, it's really good because, like I said, you guys have been ready literally since day dot, really, haven't you?
Yeah.
So this whole period of like testnet has just been a case of, okay, we'll just keep adding better features to the decks, which is awesome to see, definitely. What I am interested in is the numbers. What sort of volume are you getting on your decks? I know it's only testnet, and I know it's going to be very sporadic, but is there a good amount of volume going through your decks just through testnet? Because this also will translate to when we go to mainnet. The typical sort of volume we'll be looking to see to go through Kaspa, for example, which is what ultimately we want. We want to see a good amount of transactions being put onto Kaspa's mainnet to see if the incentives are there for the miners.
That's correct. I don't have exact numbers. It's been a while since I last looked at them, but I have some rough numbers on top of my head. So we've reached 2.6 to 2.7 million swaps, total swaps, since the mainnet launch, the testnet launch on Kaspex. I think we surpassed 5 or 6 million transactions. I don't have the exact number. For USD volume base, we do, I think, on a daily like 80 to 120K. But also that is limited to only people getting 50 cash from the faucet. So I think it could be higher if people had more cash to test with. We had, last time I checked, we had more than 90,000 unique IP addresses that used the DEX for more than 1 minute interacting with the front end. Yeah, more than 90,000 users. We've delivered, I think, 2,000 gigabytes of data in the past 30 days. Yeah. Oh, and around, we do on a daily around 22 million API calls. So, yeah, that's basically it.
So good, man. I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that. You must be thinking, what an arsehole.
Oh, no.
I've just recovered from food poisoning from a horrible salad, and now he's asking me these questions, and he didn't pre-warn me. But the only reason I am asking, because I'd love to, again, when we get to Izio Dev about Cassia, I'd love to see the transaction volume there as well, and with Nacho and Moonbound, because this is all the things that we're hoping, like, or I know it's still speculation, but at least these are numbers that we've actually got in front of us via testnet to say this is a good projection, at least, of what could be on mainnet Kaspa. So, and I think, especially since that Bitcoin talk, I think this is definitely something to lean into as Kaspa. The fact that we can have this amount of transactions, good amount of full blocks being processed, and transactions that and fees that will actually incentivize miners to adopt Kaspa as their place to be, to secure Kaspa. So yeah, I'm definitely, don't worry, I definitely will be asking everybody. It's just, unfortunately, you got it first. But I mean, those numbers are fantastic anyway, to be honest with you. 5 to 6 million transactions on, like you said, on a testnet that, like, is quite limited to the amount of people that are using it, I'd say anyway. I don't think the majority of, or not the majority, but I think there's a fair few Caspians that wouldn't be using the testnet. So I think they're really good numbers.
I would agree, yes. And also, like, the cash limitation on the faucet, which is only 50 cash, and the transactions are a bit expensive on testnet, which limits some users from testing more. But I think they are great numbers. There are a lot of people testing the testnet, and that is great to see. So many are excited for smart contracts. So yeah.
So good, man. And with your announcement about deploying on IGRA's testnet, is this, because I know this is probably something that I've asked you a million times before when you've been on Blockchain Banter, but I know there's a risk of splitting liquidity if you're using two different layer twos, but is this something you are still considering, still having Zealous on two separate layer twos? Or is this more of a, we're going to see which one suits us better?
Basically, from an infrastructure standpoint, we need to be ready for both testnets, so mainnets. So we need to, like, deploy on both testnets, and that will also help like the layer twos with development, because if we bring like lots of volume of transactions, they can optimize their layer twos and RPCs. It's a win-win. We optimize our infrastructure, they also optimize their infrastructure to support the load. As for listing on for deploying on both layer twos, it's the more likely option, because we've seen a lot of projects interested in adding liquidity pools to our protocol, and also users like there are a lot of users testing, and most of them are willing also to provide liquidity. So from a liquidity standpoint, it's much better than we expected. So yeah, most likely we'll deploy on both testnets, and I do believe like there is a gap between the layer twos. Like they are not that close in terms of using on mainnet, so we can release on one, and then after when another layer 2 come, we can release on it, and we won't liquidity won't be a problem, because we don't have to split now the liquidity. We can like generate liquidity from fees and then move them to another layer 2 when it's ready also. So that's not anymore like such a big problem. Yeah, and anyway, we can split a bit of the liquidity that we bought into two, maybe. That's also an option. But seeing that people are willing to add liquidity, it's not a problem anymore.
Absolutely brilliant. And so I'm not a tech person at all, as we all know. But are you expecting, or do you know, is the architecture of say IGRA going to be wildly different to Kasplex's architecture for layer 2, or do you expect them to be fairly similar? So like, will it be like quite seamless for you guys to port over?
Okay, from an EVM development standpoint, it's pretty much the same. They both support EVM. The only thing we need to optimize for is the block speed. Other than that, it's pretty much copy pasting from one layer to the other, because they both support, they are both full EVM compatible. The way they talk to the Kaspa layer 1, I think they have different approaches. I'm not exactly an expert in each of the differences between them. But for EVM developers, it's not to worry about, because that won't affect the development. You know, they have full EVM support. What happens in the background, it's not up to us, the developers, to optimize for. You know, we pretty much optimize for the block speed, and they have full EVM support, so it's seamless, like deploying on both chains.
Amazing. Well, I'm certainly looking forward to it. Again, it's great to have another layer 2 preparing to get on mainnet. I know this is going to be testnet, but it's good. It's good to see another layer 2 doing that. So I can't wait for it personally. And again, like, so I was going to ask you guys about Fervent Finance as well. How's that going along?
It's going along pretty well. We're very close to releasing a public beta for everyone to test, but it's not soon, because we are optimizing the DEX as of now. Because Kasplex hinted that they are very close, as far as I understood. So we need like the DEX to be fully optimized. So that's our area of focus for now. But for Fervent, it's pretty much ready. You can lend, borrow, do flash loans, put assets as collateral, remove them. It's pretty much ready. You can liquidate also users, but I don't think it will be released anytime soon. We will focus on the DEX until mainnet launch.
Awesome, man. Again, another thing that I cannot wait for is a lending protocol because, for me personally, I don't want to be selling my CAS. I'd rather borrow against it. So, yeah, I mean, that's going to be awesome. So I can't wait for that. Levendi, have we got any questions for Zealous at the moment?
At the moment, no questions I've fed through. There's a lot of love coming in and likes and reposts and everything. So really, really do appreciate that. I've just sent a post out as well myself to say that we're in segments of who we're speaking with as well, and that we're speaking live and direct with Zealous. So hopefully we should get some more questions coming through.
Amazing. I think I'm all out of questions, to be honest with you. It's just really good to get these updates from you guys. Again, the transactions on it is what I was really looking at to see how well it's being, how well it's being used, and then at least we've got those figures as a sort of starting point anyway for mainnet. I totally agree with you. Like you said, the faucet's 50 CAS, so it's not like you can do a lot with that. And again, like I know, this is what I quite like about what you guys have done with incentivizing people to actually use the testnet, because you want to have that volume through as well. You want to make sure that you can handle the amount of volume that's coming through your decks, but that also helps with figures as well, I think. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's correct. That's one for us for seeing how scalable we are and ways to optimize and improve. And also, it's great for the L2 itself to optimize their RPCs, their infrastructure, everything. Like it's a win for everyone, and for the testers that are testing, they will be rewarded.
It's really, really good. And I remember last time actually we spoke, you said you had a lot of people that were coming over to test Zealous that were from different chains, like from Ethereum, for example. Are you still, or do you know, is that still happening as well?
Yes, we have lots of people in our Telegram group that have like .eth or Sui or Sol names. Also, we're getting a lot of mentions on posts on X from also people that has names like Sui something or .eth. So it's nice to see those people like testing or spreading the words about us. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited for that as well, because again, that only helps with Kaspa's adoption, and again, the more people that come over and use, like from a, again, I've always thought this anyway. Whether this is going to happen or whether it's true or not is yet to be seen. But because Kaspa is going to be such a secure layer, because obviously all these L2s are going to be base rollups, so Kaspa's going to be the sequencer, so it inherits Kaspa's security, decentralization, speed. So, and obviously the low fees. So I am expecting a lot of other people from other networks to port over, or to at least come over and use the DeFi protocols like Zealous Swap, for example, on Kaspa. Because it makes sense, and it also makes sense, business sense, if you are a business, to obviously use Kaspa as well, because you're going to save a lot of money on fees and possible MEV resistance as well on Kaspa. It's just, there's some awesome features that are being figured out on Kaspa, which is what I really, really like about it. And I want to see. Personally, I want to be starting to see those fees for the miners, because that's what's going to really drive adoption for Kaspa, I think. And I want to see that hash rate start climbing and climbing and climbing. So I'm really, really, really looking forward to the L2s going on mainnet, and I'm really looking forward to all these apps and dexes that are going to be deploying on there as well, because that's going to really help boost adoption for sure.
Speaking of, we've had a couple of questions come through. First one from Dreamcatcher69. Great name. We always say this. Appreciate the interest, mate. You are a regular on this show. Quick and concise question. Any update on the lending platform?
Yes, as I said, it's pretty much ready. We are pretty much ready to release a beta. We need to optimize a couple of things. But as I said, we've like post development for now because we want to focus on optimizing the decks because we think that, as we understood, Casplex is very near for mainnet. So we want to be fully optimized. And once we go live on mainnet, we will bring the development of Fluent Finance back up and release a beta.
Hey, bro. Hey, bro, hang on. I'm not going to let you just skip past what you just said. Close to main. What alpha are you trying to hide from us, man? Come on. You can't fucking tickle me like that, bro. What the fuck? Close to mainnet. What do you know? What do you know, man?
It's a post they KR posted today. Can you bring it up?
Wait. You're talking about the Casplex post. I saw somebody try to decipher a message in there. I think it was Crypto Chris from Germany. He was trying to decipher some little code. I don't know whether that was a joke or what, but I was scared of. What do you boys know?
If you read the KF post, they said,
Yeah, I'm looking for it. Go on.
yeah, they said so excited to see Casplex release of its ZK EVM L2 in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia Blockchain Week, which is happening on July 21, 2022.
I just pinned it to the Jumbotron, Levendi. It's Kef's
Legend.
post.
Yeah, I don't know if.
So we're taking this like directly. This is it, 21st
Maybe.
or 22nd. Hey yo.
Yeah.
Hey yo. So we're that close. Damn. Okay, that's exciting. Holy shit.
Or
Yeah, I
maybe,
mean, that's real
maybe,
close.
maybe it has a different meaning, but that's what I understood. That 21, 22.
We're just mere weeks away then, if that is to be taken at face value. Just 1 week away.
Yeah, 1 week away.
Fucking hell.
It's insane.
I mean,
I
I
just to
assume.
temper
Sorry.
expectations. It could be the announcement of the announcement.
Hopefully not.
I hope Kaspa does not the intern on that account, because fucking hell, he loves doing that.
The announcement of the announcement of the announcement. Announcementception. Well, either way, I'm sure it's going to be good news, whether it is just an announcement of the announcement or whether it is them going live on mainnet. I obviously hope for the latter, so fingers crossed for that one. But I was going to say, I'm assuming Casplex's Layer 2 has been running smoothly for you guys as well, is it?
Is that for me, Chris?
Yeah, we could go for you. You've been testing out Moonbound on there. Would be has it been going smoothly for you guys?
Sorry, man. I just didn't realize. Yeah, it has been. It's been going extremely smoothly, and no issue. I mean, there were some like RPC connection issues a few weeks back, but we reported those. I think Zealous saw the same thing. So yeah, it's been extremely smooth. It seems like they would be ready. I would imagine the last touches that they'd be working on or waiting for would be more bridging KRC20 assets than it would be the actual L2 protocol itself. But I don't have any insider info either.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, that's what a testnet's for, isn't it? It's you've got to try break it and fix little bugs and glitches that come up. But it does seem to have run extremely smoothly. Consider all things considered, it doesn't seem to have broken that much at all, which is really, really promising, considering it is just a test net. But yeah, more on the bridge. Do we have any info on that at all? Do you guys have any info on whether it's going to be a one-way bridge or a two-way bridge, or is a bridge even being built on Casplex at the moment?
I mean, I always hesitate to speak for other teams because I don't actually know, and they haven't committed to anything. But the conversations we've heard is that both L2s will come with a bridge for existing assets, and they will be bridgeable to the L2, and it would be user decided. So just like a user would decide to bridge from Polygon to ETH or something like this, they'll be able to do that with their assets. The projects themselves shouldn't have to do anything to allow those to be bridgeable. There was a lot of conversation around one-way versus two-way creating separate markets, and my understanding is that everyone involved in these discussions recognizes the significant importance of that being a two-way bridge, and that's the path forward. But I mean, still to be determined, right? Until these guys say something, we don't know for sure.
Maybe that's the announcement. We've done it. We've got a bridge. You never know.
Either way, it's really exciting, man, because it's almost here. Pretty much, even if it's an announcement of an announcement, there's surely they're gonna drop a big bombshell of news in this week in Malaysia. So it's sounding more probable as we speak about it. To be honest, it's really, really exciting. It's just gonna go on to unlocking so many things for builders. It's just, yeah, man, awesome.
They definitely sent me on a spiral with that tweet this morning. I read it and DM'd Kaspa. I was like, should I go to Malaysia? Do I need to go? It's a long flight.
Yeah, I actually saw the messages. Fucking hell, yeah. Oh, God.
You know what? I wish I could go. I hate the fact that I have to trade my time for stupid fiat. I honestly, when I can not have to trade my time for fiat, I'll be going to all of these events. I absolutely love them. Love socializing.
Will you be bringing a duffel bag of cash with you?
I might have to, yeah. I want to keep those fees low. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I just love the events. I've loved meeting people. I love hearing their journeys as well. Because this is the great thing about crypto. So many people have so many different journeys, and actually, this is one of the. I know people always, with Kaspa anyway. It's like people, which they quite rightly should. Well, what's the use case of Kaspa? What's the thing that's going to make everybody want to change over? But because, in my opinion anyway, because Kaspa can do so much because of what it is, it's not just a medium of exchange. It can be so much more. It's for infrastructure as well, you know. So it depends who you're talking to what that use case is going to be. For Kaspa, and I think that's where sometimes we can fall over our own feet a bit, because we can't really pinpoint one thing, because there's lots of different use cases for it that will meet the needs of lots of different people. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah, it's like.
Sorry, go on.
Sorry, Levendi.
Go for it.
I fully agree, though. It's in these debates and conversations, you can hear it. There's just it's not an easy, crisp, narrative that people are used to repeating over and over again. Like, Bitcoin easily has that. Ethereum has that with the first network with smart contracts, right? It's almost like a choose your own adventure with Cas, where it is so capable. You can do so much, and so many community participants are pursuing so many different options that the conversation can get convoluted when you start trying to detail too much, and there's not just a nice crisp story to rely on.
Yeah, you've got you have to understand what the person's needs are to say, well, actually, yeah, this Kaspa can suit you in this way because X, Y, Z. Like for me personally, I like the fact that it gives me a chance to have spendable money that's completely secure and decentralized. Like it follows Nakamoto consensus. So that's what I want. It's freedom for me. So that's a use case for me. But for some banker, for example, a banker probably isn't going to give a shit about that. They don't care about that. So the use case for Kaspa for me is wildly different to someone who is in business or something like that, because the use case for them would be like a perfect payment rail, or if you're transferring money globally as a business, use Kas as a payment rail. I mean, it's going to get there a lot quicker, and it's going to be settled within 8 seconds. It's a different use case for different scenarios, and I think that's where maybe we fall over our feet sometimes. We have to, because Kaspa can do so much, or at least has the potential to do so much.
Agreed, bro. I just wanted to say that there's a few people trying to get up on stage at the minute. If you have a question for our speakers who we're hearing from updates about right now, put them in the comments. We'll open the stage after we speak with them and let you up. I see there was a Bitcoiner there as well, so we definitely want to discuss the debate. So you're more than welcome to join. We just want to hear from all of our guest speakers first, and then we'll open the stage. While we're on the guest speakers, we've got one more question that came through from Please Hammer. Don't hurt great individual. Met him at your event that you done for Kaspa and a few more. Chris, he's asking. He may not have heard it, or you guys may not have spoken about it because I've been in the back end as well. I may have missed it, but he's asking: will cross-chain swaps be implemented on Zealous?
Most likely in the future, yes. That's what we hope for. To have like an intent-based system for swapping through multiple layer 2s.
Awesome. I hope that answers that for Please Don't Hurt Him. Nice one. Exciting stuff. I'm not gonna press you on any more info on that because I know there's a lot more to come first, and you probably don't even know a date where that's going to come into it. So unless you do and you want to share it.
Of course, no dates. We need to launch on both L2s first. Then we need to develop an intent-based protocol that would work on both chains. Unless we develop a bridge that can bridge between the two. That's another story. But I think an intent-based protocol is the way to go because it's a much cleaner way of doing it.
Awesome. Zealous, do you have anything more you wanted to add before we move on?
Not really, besides thanking everyone that's testing our testnet and providing feedback. Our feedback form has around 1,400 and something feedbacks to read. I've been reading a bit through them, but it's a long way to go. So thanks for everyone. I hope I can read them all on time before mainnet and implement the fixes and features you guys are requesting.
Hopefully most of the feedback is just like, you guys are doing a great job, keep going. But they're probably not. I know especially techie people, they are brutal. They don't have a filter and they're brutally honest. But yeah, no, I mean, it's really good anyway. And I think you guys have done an incredible job. Again, I say this a lot, but props where it's due. You guys have done an incredible job so far. So really, really looking forward to mainnet launch for you guys as well.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Really appreciate your time. Thanks for that.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
No worries, brother. Right, let's try and see if Izio Dev has his mic sorted.
Roger. Do you hear me?
Oh no, it's still crackly.
Okay. Let me try that.
Wolf, I actually got told the other day that you need to get your mic sorted as well. I think it must have been for the CryptoPumpz space.
Really?
Mm.
Very brave of him to say.
Or her.
Or her.
No, it was a him.
Okay.
I said it might just be your accent. It might just be
most definitely it's my accent.
Your thick South African accent.
Yes.
It sounds like a bad microphone.
Yes, you can't believe I've almost been in the UK longer than I was in South Africa, where I was born. And
really?
Yeah. So I've been here almost 20 years, and I left South Africa when I was 22. So about 2 more years, and it's equal.
You won't be here for another 2 years, bro. You'll be off. You'll be off skis.
I don't think anybody will be here at this rate.
No, no, I won't. I'll be going along with you.
Fucking everyone is leaving. If you're young, you're leaving. If you're a specialist, you're leaving. If you're a laborer, you're leaving. If you're an engineer, you're leaving. Everybody's leaving.
It certainly is. Shame to see, but it is what it is. What happens when you've got poor government. Anyway, Izio Dev.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Let's
Okay.
go.
So that sucks a bit because I'm on phone, but let's do it.
Awesome. Welcome to the stage, bro. That's all good to see that it's working and we can hear from you and all the updates. First of all, very good to meet you. Very nice to meet you. I've heard the amount of work you guys have been putting in Cassia is incredible, so I can't wait to hear all about it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm really glad to speak about Cassia and all the contributors that aligns with Kaspa ethos. It's great to speak about that. I think.
Amazing, and that's interesting straight off the bat because you pronounced it Cassia, and we had this discussion actually last night whether it's Cassia or Cassia, but it's Cassia, is it?
Actually, I'm not sure. I'm gonna need to ask to Ghosty, which is who is the person that decided the name. I'm not sure of the pronunciation in English.
Awesome. I'll stick with Cassia then, and then you can say Cassia, and hopefully everybody knows we're talking about the same thing. But yeah, I mean, first thing I did actually want to ask you as well is, what does Cassia or Cassia stand for? Like, is there a meaning behind it?
Yeah, there is a meaning. Currently, I cannot find the real definition. I'm sorry. I was on other things, but basically, it's about a sealed message, a private message. It's our essence to provide an encrypted protocol and application on top of it. And this name described this concept.
Yeah, so again, this is something we were discussing. We weren't sure if it was Aramaic for secret or something like that.
Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Yeah, and again, so is Cassia the brainchild of Ghosty then?
The what? Sorry.
So what was Ghosty the person who really come up with the idea of Cassia?
Yeah. So how this all started? It was Ghosty that wanted to showcase Kaspa capabilities on some certain level. So he developed a few applications on top of Kaspa, and eventually he comes up with DM slider. So basically, you were able to send a message. You could connect the Casware wallet, send a message to another person, and this was seen on the DAG as a payload. So this showcased the Kaspa capability of transmitting data in one transaction, whereas previously you had to use commit reveal scheme. So this was based on 2 transactions, and since Kaspa enabled payloads, now you're able to transmit the data on a transaction in one transaction. So this is sorry.
I was just going to say, it's such a good concept, and it's one that just spawned out. Like, it seems to have just appeared out of nowhere, but it's got such a good use case for it. Like, everybody's loving this at the moment, and hopefully it continues to love this as well. I think it's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, really a great idea. So Ghosty deployed that application, and then I joined him mainly because it was such a great concept, and I love building on Kaspa. So I joined him, and then we added encryption layer. We rebuilt the UI. We modernized the code base, etc. And then eventually it became something way bigger than us. two of us. A lot of contributors came in, technical or not, and then yeah, that's all. That's Kasia or Kasia. I don't know how you say, but yeah, that's how it become.
It's so good to see as well. Like you were saying, you joined because you saw this and thought this is incredible. I really want to help develop this out a bit more. And then there's another developer that's helped out as well, isn't there? I saw it on the GitHub, but I can't remember.
Yeah, actually, several of them. We had 8 contribution, technical contribution so far, but yeah, we are 3 person regularly contributing. So we can consider this as a core developer, and several other contributors that just pick something because they think it's great to implement. So they pick it, they do it. And it's great to see that. I think that's where open source software shines. It really is there. It's open to everyone. Everyone can give feedback, implement things, etc. And yeah, it's so enjoyable to see such an excitement from the community.
I was going to say as well, like it must, and you just touched on it. It must be incredible feeling to work on something like this and then but actually see it get used quite regularly and people embracing it and loving it. Again, I think it's an incredible bit of tech, what you've done here, and the cool thing is you keep building out on it as well. And like you said, the UI's got a lot better. You can basically use it as an app now on your iPhone or Android. I know iPhone came first.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really cool to see. For people out there that are listening that may not understand the need for Kasia, like what's the main difference between using Kasia or, let's say, using Telegram or WhatsApp, for example?
Yeah, sure. So the main advantage is decentralization. There is no central server that is controlling your communication. So in protocols that you mentioned, app you mentioned, there is often a central server that act as a relay on several people to connect them. And this is not happening on Kasia because every message and every interaction you do on Kasia is a transaction on the layer 1 Kaspa. So the fundamental advantage is this: it's benefiting from Kaspa properties and essentially the decentralized one to build on top of it. So I think this is the main point to understand.
Yeah, because this is, from what I understood anyway, like apps like Tangem or WhatsApp, for example, they are encrypted, but you can still get info to a certain degree. Like you said, like a government could go up to, and they have done before, to WhatsApp or to Telegram and say, look, we want this info off of you because, like you said, there's a centralized component to it. So they and most of the time, I think Tangem are quite good with it. Not Tangem. Telegram are quite good with it. They don't often leak that sort of info over or hand that info over, but certainly WhatsApp has done before. So again, this is the other a really good use case for Kasia, is the fact that, like you said, because it's on the layer 1, it's just a transaction. Good luck getting the info on that. And I think that's good. I think people should value their privacy. I think it's a thing that people should value, definitely.
Just a small note. I think the main point is not about privacy, essentially, more about control, because a government can shut down the relay server of Telegram, Signal, any app you can think of, and then you cannot communicate to any other person from now on. So we believe that let's say if I have to keep one fundamental right as an individual, it will be communication. I think that's the only thing I will need if I need to pick one. So I want my communication to go through something that cannot be.
So sorry, so I fat fingered the mute button as I was going through the requests. My bad, Izio. I'm sorry, mate.
Okay, where did I stop?
It's quite ironic that Levendi stopped communication with everybody as you were talking about governments stopping communication with everybody.
What a happy little accident! Holy moly!
So where did I stop for you?
So yeah, you were saying that that is the main benefit. Like governments could stop communication, and to you, communication is the one thing you'd want to have as a free person.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yeah.
And it's such. I didn't even think of it like that at all, and it makes perfect sense. And it's actually just it's made me realise how important Cassia actually is even more. So massive thank you to you for that one, because it's a perfect explanation and it makes perfect sense. Cassia is your communication, is your voice that can't be shut down. And I
exactly.
love that. I think brilliant use case there. Yeah, so when this obviously first came about with Ozghosty, what is it that actually drew you to it? Is it that sort of fact that you just thought, this is a really cool thing, we can make this better, essentially?
First of all, Oz and I have always been talking to each other on the community. So he shared his work regularly, and I was impressed by his motivation into showing Kaspa to the world. So I knew by joining him, he will be a driving force for let's say as a project. So really important to me, and also obviously the app about communication, that is also really important to me. So when I saw what he made, I knew it will be more than that, and we can push it to the extreme if you want to, if we have the motivation to do so. And Kaspa is just naturally a good choice for it as a communication platform, because of let's say decentralized network are not new. You can use a Nostr if you want. It's great, but it lacks something. It lacks a social consensus. Like if you want to pay on Nostr, you will have to trust payment provider somehow, or you just refer to your own node. But there is no social consensus in this network. So Kaspa is like having Nostr plus having a payment system and a social consensus all in one. So a communication platform on top of Kaspa just makes sense. It just makes sense.
And is that solely down to Kaspa's speed?
Yeah, obviously, we can. Let's say Bitcoin, for example, could have been that too, but obviously, because it is not real-time or internet speed, you cannot have a real communication platform built on top of it, on DL1, I mean. So yeah, Kaspa really is something great in that essence, I think. It's important to notice. And before I worked on this application, I didn't realize how powerful Kaspa were in that sense.
That's amazing. And yeah, exactly like you said, having something like this built on Bitcoin probably wouldn't be the best idea, because you wouldn't receive your message till like 10, 20, 30 minutes later. So yeah, probably not the best way of communicating. But again, that's quite interesting you said that as well, that actually building this out on Kaspa made you realize how incredible Kaspa's tech is for especially for use cases like this. So that's sort of going to lead me on to the transaction side of things. So is there a way that you, like, yeah, I'm don't know how to phrase this. Can you see how many transactions are basically being done using Cassia?
Technically, it's possible to do that. Kaspalytics from SmartGoo recently added this metric, so you can track on a 24-hour time window, I think, how much Kasia message was sent. But we don't have any tool to browse historical data. It's possible to do so, but let's say we have more important thing to do currently.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. That's fair enough. Do you have a rough idea of how many transactions have actually been put through via Cassia?
Yeah, it should be around 20,000, I think. Something like that, I think.
See, now, to be honest with you, 20,000 odd for something that's in beta and isn't widely used yet is actually incredible, I think. And I think as more and more people start to learn about Cassia or Kasia, I'm hoping that they're going to really embrace this, because I think it is, again, especially since you've said that, that's in my mind now about that's the true use case of it, is that it can't be shut, that your voice, your communication can't be shut down. That's such a big thing. And it never even clocked, it never even ticked in my brain about that. So I'm really pleased you did say that, because I will be pushing it out to everybody now. And that's for me, that is the use case for Cassia, is the fact that your voice can't be shut down by a centralized figure or authority. So yeah, for having 20,000 transactions so far, I think is, or roughly thereabouts, is incredible. And again, this all helps the network. It all helps security for Kaspa. So if you can get one app like Kasia really getting used quite a lot, that's just one instance that's bringing in a good amount of transactions, and it's got a good use case behind it. I think it's it's a win-win-win situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really hoping that more and more people start to use Kasia. And what I really like about Kasia is I think it will be at least at the start, it will be quite a niche little market, because it will only be really Caspians that are going to be using it. But there's a hell of a lot of us, and the community is really strong. So if the community and what is, it's like 10 CAS, isn't it? You fund your wallet for 10 CAS, and it does, what is it, about 500,000 messages?
Yeah, the theoretical calculation show this, but actually we will have to try it and confirm it. But yes, basically you pay network fees only. I forgot to mention that, but there is no other fees than network fees, and you pay on per character basis, because each character add a certain weight to the transmission layer. So it depends on what you type, but yeah, with 10 CAS you should be able to approximate that number, indeed.
So again, it's so easy for everybody to access as well. I think it's such a good idea, and yeah, I really do hope that more people start to get onboarded onto Kasia, because I think it's a brilliant app. Going on about the transaction fees, like you said, the only thing you actually have to pay is the transaction fees. Is there at any point, do you think you're going to monetize this, where you just take, like, add a small fee for obviously development and running costs and things like that? Because again, I don't think that's actually a bad idea. I'm all for people being incentivized to do things, and I think that's a fair incentive. If you decided to add a small fee for the transactions as well, for development and things like that, I don't think that's a bad thing. But I was just wondering your thoughts on that, and if that's something that's in the pipeline.
Yeah, so I will start by saying the contributor thought about it, and then I will add my personal ones. The Kasia was developed by a group of people that are united on an entity that is called Cluster. And Cluster was let's say, created with the idea in mind that we are not doing this for money, for power, for anything. We are doing this because this is the right thing to do, and we are doing this because we think people deserve to use sovereign tools eventually. So we are doing this in that effort. We don't want to be involved with money, etc. This is nothing of our interest. So this is the group thought. Now mine is maybe a bit more oriented toward open source and open things in general. And I think that we should be able to modify a code base. We should be able to verify a program execution as an individual. And so for this reason, we will never include a forced mechanism inside the software. Or maybe if everyone agrees, but me, I will say, okay, let's go. But personally, I don't think that's a good idea.
I mean, that's, again, when I say about incentives, I think I always think of money as an incentive, but obviously sometimes I forget that there is actually other incentives for people to do things. And obviously you guys have got an incentive because of what you just spoke about, being part of this cluster group, and you actually want to do it to benefit. I mean, in a way it does, there is an incentive there, I suppose, to some degree, because the more Kaspa gets used and adopted, the better for everybody. So yeah, I suppose that is a good incentive as well. But yeah, no, that's totally fair enough. I think it's like I said, me personally, I wouldn't well, I wouldn't think any less of anyone if they're providing a decent service and they add a small fee to it. I think all power to you. But yeah, again, it's really good that you guys have gone down that route anyway, and it's definitely much appreciated, because apps like this are going to be incredible for Kaspa as a whole. So yeah, massive thanks to all of you. Really, you've done an incredible job so far.
So currently we're working on several things in parallel. We are doing yet another UI UX rebuild from the ground base because we were not satisfied with the last version still. So that's ongoing and should be deployed soon enough. We are also focused on bug fixed or flaws that we identified. We are also working in parallel again on building a more robust architecture in order to move faster forward in the future and in safety, obviously. So that's a short, midterm. Long term, we expect iOS and Android app on the app stores. So this is being worked on. It just needs a lot of paperwork and a legal entity. So currently, we are speaking with someone that is willing to discuss this, and maybe we will be able to be hosted by him or them. I don't know. So yeah, mobile app. And again, in another project in parallel, because KJ is great. It is an app and a protocol, and we think we can do even more by dissociating the protocol and the application. So the protocol will be not only about message to human, but also to automated workflow, for example, or I don't know, but I don't know how to say it right now. But basically, we are working on dissociating the app and the protocol so everyone can benefit from the protocol, implement it, and add an extension layer to it so that it would support other use cases than just speak to someone.
Wow, I mean, you've really thought this out. To be honest with you, I wasn't expecting such an in-depth answer, but it's really cool that you guys are thinking that far ahead, and it would be incredible, absolutely incredible. Is this something that could facilitate video calls or anything like that, or are we speaking? Is that way too much really for Cassia?
It is technically possible to do so, but in order to do real-time audio and video, you either need a release server or to be connected to your peer directly. If you want a decent audio bitrate, for instance, it will not be possible to publish a transaction on the layer 1 and listen to it. The audio will not be quite good, so especially if it's a long audio. So this kind of communications are possible, but we will need to install, let's say, develop a side mechanism to connect two peers together. This is not an easy task, and we believe that it is not required right now, but in the future, we can imagine, effectively, we can imagine something like that, yeah.
I mean, this is just, it blows my brain, it really does, because it's like what we were talking about earlier on in the space, where it's really hard to pinpoint like the sort of USP for Kaspa to other people, and it is because there's so much that Kaspa can facilitate and do, and like just like you talking there, it's like this is just next level stuff that I never even thought you could do stuff like this via DLTs, but obviously you can, and it blows my brain really. That it's actually at least possible to do. I know it's going to be that would be a lot of work, but it's something that is possible to do. Yeah, it's unreal, absolutely unreal. Yeah, so again, I think you guys have done an incredible job, and I want to say thank you, because I really love that you're building this out, and I actually really love that it's getting a lot of traction, because I think this could be absolutely huge for sure.
Thank you. We take. I think all the KRC contributors are really thankful to the community. Really good people. Let's say they didn't blame anything. They just say, "Oh, it would be cool to do that. It would be cool to do this." It's really exciting. We know why we do this, and we're grateful for it. Thank you.
Another thing I think is really good about KRC is it's really, for me personally, I think it's given KNS a really good use case as well, because straight away I used my KNS for KRC because it's just so much easier for people to find you, and I really love. I think it was Coin Athlete who made a sort of directory of people for KRC, and it's so much easier just to put your name in. Like for me, example, I've got cryptopumpz.kas. If anybody wants to ping me a message, go do it. But yeah, it's so much easier to do that, and I think it's really cool because again, KNS has been around for a while, and for me, that's a perfect use case for it now.
Yeah, it really is a good use case. We would like to integrate such, let's say, address book even more, push it to the limits, because currently you still have to know the person you know the KNS domain. Eventually, it would be great to integrate, let's say, a search bar. You want to search for someone without knowing his KNS domain in advance or stuff like that. We would want to push that to the limits. Yeah.
Man, that would be so cool if you managed to do that. It really, really would. I know you guys are working hard anyway, but if you could do something like that, it'd be amazing. The other thing I'd love to see is, because I've got the app now on my iPhone, I'd love to see notifications if that's something that's possible as well. That would be awesome.
Yeah, so this one is a bit technical. Maybe I can say, do you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Oh, okay, sorry. So this one is a bit technical. It would require a server, basically. So currently we are Maxime, which is someone who helped me us on the on KRC research, but also is working on an indexer currently. So it's a server that is scanning Kaspa transaction, and this, let's say, this building block will unlock the notification use case. So we have to wait for this, and yeah, this is possible.
I mean, that'd be so cool. It really, really would. But like I said, in your own time, because you guys have done an incredible job so far anyway. And yeah, so it's yeah, in your own time, no pressure. I was going to say as well, I'm sure I saw, I may be dreaming, did Wolfie put out a post about setting people up for basically using KRC as well? I'm sure he said if the community just develops like a small fund to onboard and help onboard people that are maybe not even on Kaspa, but again, KRC would be a perfect excuse for them to then get into Kaspa. I personally think that's an incredible idea, and I hope that I don't know if anyone's heard anything more about that. If I saw Ashton putting 100% up, so I probably didn't dream it, but I think it'd be an incredible use case as well. I think, or not a use case. I think that'd be an incredible thing to push out to the wider community anyway, to get them set up and using KRC. And again, it's all a net positive for Kaspa in general.
Yes, so we also saw someone that just published an X post where we say, okay, answer to this topic, and I will send you one Kaspa to try it out. So we really like the community initiative, also the Kaspa address book website that but the same person developed, I think. So we really like the fact that community itself just do something and improve it. That's really great. And eventually, yes, what you're mentioning is also a concern for us, because eventually we would want to hide the fact to the end user that they are using a wallet. This is the end goal, I mean. So we thought about different possibilities. One of them would be, okay, I'm using KRC, I already have some Kaspa, and then I can generate a referral link that is optionally protected by a password or whatever. And I send this link either as a QR code or any other transmission method. And when I install the app, I can be onboarded with this referral context. And this would, let's say, pre-provision a wallet for you. So you don't even have to worry about how to obtain Kaspa eventually.
I think that's such an important end goal as well, because I personally think that's how Kaspa will be mass adopted, is in general, is people won't even realize they're using it for like peer-to-peer payments, for example, or not peer-to-peer payments, but as a payment rail. People won't even realize they're using it. They just tap a card that is linked to Kaspa, and Kaspa does its thing, but nothing's changed for the user. And I think that's such an important thing, again, that you guys have thought of there, because if you can make it, KRC as an app, a truly decentralized app, messaging app, sorry, and that's what a user would want to use it for, if you know what I mean. not the fact that they have to then set up a Kaspa wallet and blah blah. They may not want to use Kaspa at all, but they want to use your service. So like you said, if you can make it in such a way that people are just using the app, but that app is actually run on Kaspa, massive benefit there anyway. And I think crypto just spooks people, unfortunately, anyway. They don't like it. Like the everyday user or the everyday person doesn't really understand crypto, or when they hear crypto, they just think scam straight away because of obviously what's been going on or previously. But and it's a shame, really. But yeah, like you said, if you can just sort of, well, this isn't crypto, this is a decentralized messaging service, people are much more likely, that aren't in crypto, are much more likely to come over and use it. So yeah, I think you're thinking well ahead, well advanced. This is like Jonathan style thinking.
No, I'm humble with this, but it's really important to understand that open source softwares and bringing the community in brings a lot of great stuff, and this is it. Because how did we end up thinking about this? It is only because of the community. They try the app, they make feedback, we think about things, we discuss all together, and eventually it really is something by the community for the community. I think, it has an additional power that non-open source things have, really.
Absolutely love that, man. And like I said, I think you guys have done an incredible job. So I'm so glad you come up with the idea. Again, it's one of those things. Like, did Oz Ghosty, when he initially thought of this idea, did he ever think it would get this big already?
I will have to ask him, but I can safely say no, I think.
He's an awesome guy anyway. I see him on my timeline all the time, and yeah, I think he's a top bloke. I was going to say, Levendi, has there been any questions for Kasia?
Yeah, lots, lots of questions. So there's been one generic question that's been asked by a lot of people. It was asked first by cryptopumpz. He's asking if there's a group chat feature coming out, and is it going to be on Google Play Store anytime soon?
Okay, so I will try to be very concise and not technical for this answer, unless you want me to. But in short, group features, it's prioritized. It's in research mode currently, and yeah, so it will come sometimes. We don't know when it will be the correct time eventually. And about the stores, yeah, it's coming when we can. It's not depending on us, so nothing we can really do about it. We on our end, we are ready about it.
Awesome, thank you. So that answers that. And there's a much more deeper series of questions from Cryptolytics. I pinned it up in the Jumbotron as well. So he's saying that he really likes the idea of Kasia, or Kasia, as you guys are pronouncing it. My bad, I've butchered the crap out of it. But yeah, he likes the idea anyway. He's asking what encryption does it implement, and he went on to say AES256-GCM. I have no idea what that is.
Yeah. Okay. Can you repeat the? Sorry, I will go on the computer maybe.
Yeah. So he's asking what type of encryption is Kasia has it implemented?
So it's a very well-known mechanism which is used in SSH for the Linux geek here. SSH is using this. Basically, it's I don't know if I go there, but it's a well-known elliptic curve encryption mechanism that authenticates and protect the content.
Okay, cool.
Sorry about the deeper information, but we have a white, let's say, a light paper that we have worked on, and anyone can come and I will share them with the documentation.
No, that's awesome. Thank you. I mean, for me, I need to dive in deeper to understand, but I think Cryptolytics understands you on that one, specifically because he pinpointed and named one out. I don't think you named it, but hopefully that answers that part of his question. He went on to go to ask, we have seen many messengers like SureSport and Wicker shut down due to crackdowns by government entities. How do you plan to sufficiently decentralize?
So the idea is that ideally anyone should connect to their own node, Kaspa node. So from Kasia, you can go to the setting page and enter a node, basically. And I encourage everyone to do that, really. It really is important to connect to our own node or a friend node, maybe, if you want. And also, since Kasia is open source, you can download it and execute it locally. So you don't depend on our server, let's say. You can host it yourself. Some people have already done it. So this is the thing we think about. If you have any other idea to improve this, let's come in and discuss.
Awesome. Thank you for answering that. I'm just going to go back out of that because I had to expand. Just we go to the next questions. There was another one with the group messaging. You've just answered that. It's on its way. You guys are prioritizing it. Yeah, I think we've gone through. Okay, here we go. Is there perfect forward secrecy in Kasia and how it works if it's stored on the DAG forever?
Yeah, so yeah. So forward secrecy, for those who don't know, it's the fact that if you have forward secrecy, you're unable to decrypt the past messages you sent with the key that was stolen. Let's say my wallet gets stolen. The guy has the key. If I don't have forward secrecy, the person will be able to read my entire conversation history. So just to be clear about it, it has been a deep talk about this. Currently on Kasia, there is no forward secrecy. So if you lose your private key and someone get it, they will be able to decrypt the messages you've sent previously. Not that you received, but you've sent. It's important to note that. And we are planning on adding, but it will not be included directly on Kasia, we believe. Maybe it will. It had a lot of complexity, but if you want to reach forward secrecy, we have to implement, let's say, an order of magnitude more complex system on top of it.
It makes sense, to be honest. I mean, we're messing with tech that we fully control and have in our hands, so it does make a lot of sense. I didn't even consider or even know that was a thing, to be honest, until I saw the question. Cool. Let's see. If there's any more have come through, it's just. Yeah, no more questions have come through. I know, Ashton, you threw your hand up in the air. Did you have something to ask?
It was mainly just about group messaging. I'm really, really excited to see the day where we can replace Telegram or Discord with Kasia. And we're gonna need channels, group messages, something of that style to include multiple people. So same type of question. It's really cool what you guys are doing though. So hats off to you. And I don't know if you or Ozghosty have any interest in coming out to Berlin for the Kaspa experience, but we've been talking as a team, and I think we plan on putting Kasia activities on the scavenger hunt anyway, since it's all open source, and just ensuring that we showcase this to the attendees as much as we can.
Oh, great. Yeah, it would be great.
That'd be amazing. Izzy, are you going to the Berlin event at all?
No, unfortunately not.
Oh, gutting. It'd have been good to catch up with you and yeah, have a drink.
It's a bit expensive for me, but yes, maybe in the future. I'm not against the idea of coming in person and engage with you guys. the community really is great. I only realize right now, not right now, but since we've built this project, so yeah, will be great.
I mean, I personally think you'd be a fantastic speaker or panelist. You obviously know a lot about what you're talking about, but you speak very clearly. So yeah, maybe that's something you could do, especially for Kasia. That'd be fantastic in the future, obviously.
maybe I'm not against the idea. Yeah.
Awesome. So there's another question. The two questions have come through, but for Zeleswap and Moonbound, I'll just ask it quickly from Big Black Cat. Will Moonbound be available as soon as mainnet is live? And when a token graduates, will it be instantly tradable on Zeleswap?
Yeah, happy to answer those. Real quick, Levendi, do you hear me clearly, or do I sound like robotic?
No, crystal clear, man.
Okay, you guys, for some reason, everyone on the panel, I'm starting to hear robotic, so it's just my internet, and I'll roll with it. No worries at all. So to his first question, we plan on launching Moonbound as soon as reasonable after the L2 drops, but it will not be the same day that Casplex or Egra goes live. We obviously, I think, as a community, expect Casplex to come first. Sounds like they're hinting at things being very close. Our intention is to launch Moonbound within a week of that L2 dropping. So Nacho community as a whole has kind of been around the block with stuff dropping and launching on day one, and we want to give a little bit of buffer period to test internally first. So within the first few days of that L2 being launched, it should be available. To your second question on graduation, yes, that's an automatic process that happens immediately as the last token available in the bonding curve gets sold. And we've already tested that with Zealous' smart contracts on Casplex's L2 testnet that's live. So very smooth process in terms of graduation. Their UI, as if you've ever used like a pancake swap or a Uniswap, the UI of these dexes they don't always pick up brand new tokens right away. So you may need to grab the contract address from Moonbound and put it into the token swap area on Zealous that you want to, but we've seen that tested out and it works. It finds your token, no problem. It just may not be listed with a pretty logo and everything instantly.
Awesome. Thank you. It's fighting with my mute button. It looks like Chris was doing the same thing. I couldn't unmute quick enough. But awesome. Thank you for answering that, Ashton. Has anyone here on the panel got any more questions for Kasia and would like to dive in deeper? Because we've gone through all the questions that have been asked from the audience. Yeah. Chris, do you have any other questions?
I haven't. I'm fully out of questions. But again, it's awesome what you guys are doing. I genuinely think I've got a newfound respect for Kasia now. Actually, again, I'll keep going back to it, but it did blow my mind. It's the perfect way to keep your communication going. Love it. Absolutely love that use case for it. Is there anything more you wanted to add, Izio, before we move on?
I just wanted to say that everyone is welcome to come and participate into this. This will make a lot of sense that more and more community members come, even if they are not technical. There are plenty of area on which you can participate, and yeah, just come in and we'll see how to make this together.
Where's the best place to find you guys to participate?
Yeah, sure. So there's on the GitHub link, which is accessible from the X page of Kasia. On the bottom, you have a Discord that you can join.
Perfect. So yeah, if anyone's listening and they feel like they could contribute in some way, certainly go do that, because this is definitely a community-driven project. And so far, it's so new already. It's so new, but already it's just insane what you guys have done. It's so good. And yeah, really looking forward to even more features being added to this. Just you guys have really hit the ground running with this, and it's fantastic. So again, massive thank you from me, because you guys are doing incredible work.
Thanks for the team. I will transmit the message. Thank you.
Perfect. What a legend. Okay, Levendi, who are we on to next?
So next, I want to hear from the man, the myth, the legend, Wolf. What's going on, man? What's going on with Wolfie's Bar? What's that? It's been a little while since I stepped over there in your corner to find out what's going on. I've been so busy. Talk to me, man. What's happening?
He may not be awake.
Oh, wait! I saw some movement. You can't hide away now, mate.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, loud and clear, bro.
Yeah. No, I'm almost asleep, so it's very near. I think after this, I'm definitely gonna go to bed, so I can get up at 4 as always. Yeah, all good. I mean, Wolfies is growing amazingly. We're minting like 70 to 100 NFTs a week at the moment, so we're moving towards that end goal, and our treasury is already very robust and the right level for us to do our expansion. But in the last week, what we've done is we've registered the South African entities for the businesses that's going to start there, and I'm in process of setting up the bank accounts and those things for it. Also hired the accountant over there that's going to look after it all for me. So going very well in that context. And then the biggest thing that's happening, which everybody is very excited about for this week, is the Igor Labs pre-sale. So Wolfies as an aggregator has a hell of a lot of people that's shown interest and pledged quite a lot of amounts. So if you're still keen, you need to get into our Discord and get yourself listed there. But it is oversubscribed as it is. But yeah, I think that's the synopsis of where I'm at.
Amazing. So with the Igra sale, has that gone live now?
No, tomorrow it's going live. And then
tomorrow going
yeah,
live.
and it's a couple of days for settlement, etc. Given it as a pre-sale, it's not very market or everything. It's very manual for all the aggregators and everybody to take the money in and verify it and send it to Igra. But all of that's gonna kick off from tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, that's going to be very exciting. There's been a lot of noise in the space about the Igra token sale. So yeah, like you said, you've had a lot of interest, I know. So it's a good thing.
I think they underestimated how popular it's going to be, and yeah, I think they could have probably asked way more or have quite a larger allocation, but now this is it. So looks good. We've got they've got the interest in it, do exactly what you require for a thing like this. So yeah, all good.
It's awesome, man. And I just wanted to circle back to with the progress you've got with South Africa as well, which is awesome. And like, it's really, really good to hear that sort of thing. I cannot wait for a Wolfies Bar in South Africa, even though obviously we've got one in London.
Yes.
But it's just that expansion and again, doing it in different countries. Firstly, the UK's horrendous for setting up a business now. But secondly, having a Wolfies Bar in South Africa, the South African market, one, I'd assume is more willing to use crypto to some degree.
Yes.
And two, what a perfect way to onboard people onto Kaspa by having this new cool shop set up or restaurant set up that accepts cash. And again, it's just going to really help with adoption. So I, for one, am massively looking forward to you having Wolfies Bar out in South Africa.
Yeah, me too. There's so much more we can do over there than here, which is just going to be incredible. And like embedding crypto even more in context of what Wolfies use it for. So I'm very excited. We're also working on getting some people on the ground there already. So Crypto Ninja's brother actually lives there and studies there, and he's going to help us set up a team that will pursue in selling NFTs and starting to build hype, because we want to, when we do open the space, we already want a community of people there that's excited and involved and invested in Wolfies. So yeah, all going very well, all moving forward.
What is the sort of attitude like towards crypto out in South Africa? Is it more of a, like, everyday people are more accepting of it, or is there, like in the UK, when you mention crypto, people look at you like you're about to rob them? Is there that sort of thing out in South Africa, or is it a lot more laid back? Do they understand it more?
I think more, but I wouldn't say it's like they're far better than over here in that context. So they're a little bit better. The people that do invest in crypto are fully embedded in it. They use it for all sorts. There's quite a few projects out there. There's an NFT called Tokolosh. There's a coin called Duos. There's other NFT, Solana Heroes. Tian is over there. He's all projects over there. So they're very involved in that context. I'm very excited about it. And the one thing that's advantageous for South Africa as a country, and we could mention things like the US is also one of them, but a lot of people still use a lot of cash there. I miss there, but they have a lot of gas that they're using to pay for things. So you've got this whole economy that still runs on real paper fiat, which doesn't always go through all the accounts and everything, very much like Greece. But for crypto, because of that, there's a very good ambition to adopt it in that way and start utilizing it. So, for example, there's a town, I think it's called Witrifuur, but in English it's called White River. Afrikaans has got more oomph than the English pronunciation of it. But that town, the whole town runs on Bitcoin. So from salaries to shops to houses, everything is purchased and sold via Bitcoin. And then we've got another interesting concept. It's not crypto, but there's a space called Oranje, which is a new town, settlement city region that was created for Afrikaners to grow and keep their history and everything. And they've got their own currencies. They've got a currency called Oranje that's pegged to the rand, but they very much pursue in having all the money that's earned in Oranje stay in Oranje. So the whole economy runs internally there with their own currency, which gives you an indication of how ripe it is for really massive adoption. I mean, for me, one of the things is if you could just get the public to click that not only crypto being the solution for political turmoil or economic turmoil in regards to inflation and the printing of money, but the fact that cash is already the right technology for speed and medium of exchange. So it means that if it's adopted in concept of that, you can literally replace the whole financial system with it and create the market with it and change the world with it overnight, and no one can stop you. So that's my I don't know if you watch Pinky and the Brain. Anyway, but that's the
I used to love Pinky and the Brain.
So it's the big brain move in the end, is to develop and build these things, but then to really push and facilitate mass adoption of crypto. And we're going to do it in numerous ways. We're going to do things where you can purchase the products and services at a discount if you use crypto, including my own coin in that regard. And we'll do a lot of incentives in that regard. And then of course, anybody that knows, but my NFT is connected to the restaurant. It gives you all sorts of benefits, from free coffee to merchandise to discounts. So between 10 and 30%, depending on how many NFTs you hold. And then also you get revenue share, which is going to be part of this whole expansion. So all the revenue, well, 33% of the revenue gets paid back out to holders in Wolfie Coin. So we purchase Wolfie Coin from the open market and distribute it. But what we want to do is also we want to develop Wolfie Coin more in the future, so it can actually be utilized within the Wolfie Bar ecosystem, very much like the Starbucks app is used. And for those who don't know, Starbucks app, the background of it is Polygon, so it runs on Polygon in the background. They've hidden it through the app, so people are not aware that they're actually using crypto to purchase their products.
Yeah, I mean, that is insane. One thing I did pick up on for what you said at the beginning there was about a lot of people in South Africa tend to use cash. They still like using cash. And I was quite shocked to hear that about Germany as well. A lot of people, certainly in around Berlin anyway, use cash. They love cash. So it's weird because to me, they're almost there. They're almost Bitcoiners. Because they just run around with big duffel bags of cash, zero fees. Perfect.
They do. I don't know if you've ever been to Germany, but I go to Munich every year to the BFS and go drink a bunch of steins with my brother. And the Fräuleins that brings you beer and the waiters in all the restaurants, they all have these moon bags around their waist. Because in Germany also, if you're the waiter, you handle the whole purchase. So you take in all the cash that's been given to you for the boat, and at the end of the night you square it, and the balance is yours. But they all run around with moon bags, money in it. So I think you're right, and I think it's a bit of they don't understand the technology part of it, and you've got this view of crypto that infects it a bit when you talk to normal people, if you want to call them normal. So I think once it clicks in regards to what it is, it will be immediate. They'll just jump into it, everyone. So, but we'll see when that happens.
I do hope so, because I think, like is it that's the first part, is like people use cash because they don't trust banks.
Yeah.
So that's you're sort of, you are on the right road, and then so that's a good thing. You use cash, but then you that's the progress for me then is, yeah, well, look, now we have Kaspa. You don't need cash.
Yeah.
Or even Bitcoin. Like I know I'm just mucking about when I say this, but genuinely I love Bitcoin as well. I think Bitcoin's an incredible bit of tech, but it does have problems, and there's problems that need to be addressed. I genuinely think Kaspa has addressed these problems, and I really do. I love that, because I want Bitcoin to succeed, but I think Kaspa could possibly be the solution that Bitcoin is looking for. So I think that is. I just want to get people into crypto, because I can see the benefit of people being their own bank. Personally,
I think. I mean, and we saw this with the debate that ran this week in regards to Bitcoin, and some of the arguments that's put forth about how irrelevant medium of exchange is. And I think there's a massive gap in understanding in the community that without medium of exchange, this whole thing will fall apart at some stage. We need to progress in actually having active markets and having crypto being used to purchase our everyday things and be part of our lives in that context for it to be functional and work. And if you look at the different technologies out there, the only one that can do that as proof of work is KRC. All the others have got variations up and down in regards to that. So in essence, if you believe in crypto for its values, so you want decentralization, you don't want government to control your money, you don't want government to decide what you value, because effectively when you purchase things, you're indicating to the economy what you value. And what governments have done with the printing of money is they've muted your voice and made the things that they value more important, hence why our economy is also disjointed and entrepreneurship and business and everything doesn't function. But just coming back to that, the use of crypto as medium of exchange is critical if you have that value system and you want to actually have that value system there for your children and embedded in the future and be part of organizational structures and markets in the future. So it's really, really important. I think it's the main thing and pursuit. Hence also why I accept KRC and Bitcoin and Wolves and drive for a market to actually exist there. And I have this discussion with KRCians also, where they would come and say, well, the price of KRC is bad, I'm not going to use my KRC. You shouldn't be thinking about using your KRC. You should just use your fiat for where you usually would have used your fiat purchases and just transition it into KRC and then do the purchase. Because the more we do that, the more of an economy we create, the more volume we create, the more everything we create in the process. And the reality of it is that if you start pushing world commerce through a coin that's finite in regards, I mean, we don't even know where that's going to go, but it may be that we actually square value in the future, and that people can actually hold value and grow value and transfer value to others, which we don't have. I know people think that's the case, but we do not have that. We don't even have that value in our properties anymore. That's another rouge. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean that what you touched on there about the in that particular debate about with the Bitcoiners, where they said, well, like medium, basically it seems like, well, medium of exchange doesn't matter, just use cash, like you're going to use cash or the Lightning Network or whatever. But they were like, yeah, you just use cash, and it's like, to me that's a very it's a bad thinking, because it's not for everyone then, is it? Because if you've ever been to a country that experiences runaway inflation, it's not nice. Like when I went to Cambodia, I didn't know this at the time. They obviously love to use USD more because it's stable. But their currency, and I can't remember what the currency was, but it gets inflated fucking quick. And it's like you could go buy some bread in the morning and it would be X amount in their dollars or whatever they've got in their currency. And then you'd go back a few hours later and it's pretty much fucking doubled. Like you try to tell someone, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I think that attitude, that sort of blow away attitude of medium exchange doesn't really matter, just use cash. Well, what about those poor fuckers? And it's not just them, like this happens globally. You look at Argentina when they had runaway or mass inflation, hyperinflation. Zimbabwe, you've got the history is just full of this. Venezuela, what, you're just going to tell them just use cash? Oh, just use cash. Well, no, because their cash gets devalued so quickly, and then that's why I don't really like that argument, because it's not for everyone, is it? Yeah, Bitcoin then just becomes for the select few that have enough money to transact. Oh, what's I don't care about paying a $10 fee. Yeah, you may not, because you're in a more privileged position. But there's people out there that $10 is a fucking lot of money for, and I don't think that's fair. And it's like, well, use the Bitcoin Lightning Network then. All right, but then you're saying, which is fine. Don't get me wrong. Bitcoin Lightning Network's much better than a bank, for example, but it's still a centralization. And you're basically saying to those people, you don't get to afford the security benefits that Bitcoin offers the security and decentralization of Bitcoin, you have to use a centralized system and just you have to deal with it. That's fine. And it's like then Kaspa comes along and goes, well, no, we've got your decentralization, we've got your security, and we are a medium of exchange. We can literally, like for pence as well. So that there's the better solution. Like I said before, cash was a good solution. Oh, but then Bitcoin come along, better solution. Oh, but Bitcoin's too slow and costly. Lightning Network, a better solution. Kaspa, a better solution to that. So really, everyone should be adopting Kaspa as the better solution, because Kaspa genuinely is for everybody. Whereas it's starting to seem like Bitcoin's not for everybody. And I think as time goes on, people will realize that actually Bitcoin becomes a lot more not for everybody, which isn't a good thing in my opinion. Anyway, that's my 2 cents anyway.
Yeah, and I think it's to tier that perception. I think the one reason why everybody's moving away from medium of exchange is because it's not been solved in the last decade prior to CAS. So people have almost just put on their their sunglasses. They're just ignoring that point of it, like it's not important, because there's no solution at hand for it. And the further this goes, and the more entrenched some of the beliefs is in how Bitcoin should run, the more or the less likely it becomes for that to change or be adapted. So, and then the second thing is that CAS has solved it. But a lot of times when you have these discussions, and you saw it in the comments and the discussions held in the chat, they just dismiss it. They don't understand it. They haven't really thought about it in that context. They don't comprehend that it is actually a proof of work that's decentralized. And you see those arguments popping up all the time. It's just a lack of understanding and knowledge, but it's chosen. They choose not to know this. And I think that comes back to the first point I made, because medium of exchange has been so contentious. People have been, if they've just started ignoring it, they just can't deal with it. You know, Chris, it's like what your family did when they found out you were ginger. They had to figure out.
Yeah, they couldn't drown me quick enough. I survived. Strong ginger blood. But yeah, it is one of those things. And what annoys me about the medium of exchange is just then dismissed by some of the Bitcoin community. It's not all of the Bitcoin community. There's some OGs in there that genuinely are still cypherpunk and just really live for this shit. So it's not all Bitcoiners. I mean, technically, a lot of us are Bitcoiners to some degree. We hold Bitcoin and we love Bitcoin. It's just we understand that there's issues there that need to be addressed sooner rather than later. And this is what annoys me about that. There's this sort of brush off of oh, it's a medium of exchange. Oh, that doesn't matter. We're a store of value now. It's like, no, you haven't upgraded to a store of value. You've just changed the narrative because you realised a problem with Bitcoin, that it doesn't scale and it can't be used as a medium of exchange, and that's a problem. But instead of addressing that problem and going, right, we need to fix this properly for long-term security of the network, a lot of them have just gone, no, we're just a store of value now. It's a narrative change. It's like, no, you haven't addressed the problem, and the problem's going to get worse and worse and worse. I think Crypto Oddie said he's working on a video about this, so I think that'll be really interesting. But yeah, Bitcoiners have got or Bitcoin in general has got a big problem coming ahead of it sooner than I think a lot of them expect, because a lot of them think they've got like 100+ years to deal with this, and they haven't. That it's going to get massively worse within 20 years anyway. Like, fees are going to have to be fairly high, and it's going to price out a lot of people. And I want the Bitcoin community to address this because it is a serious problem. Sure. And what annoys me about it is Kaspa has solved this problem. And that's not to say that Kaspa is like we've got a lot of stuff to deal with ourselves. We have to make sure that we do cover transaction fees do cover miners' costs and make them make them profitable, because that's the incentive for miners to secure the network. So we do have our own problems to deal with, but the point is we're not ignoring it, we're dealing with it. And this is why all of these apps, Cassia app coming out, L2s, Moonbound, Zealous, what you're doing, Wolf, like all of these things are helping to drive that, to put transactions on the network. So yeah, Kaspa's approach seems to be very proactive in dealing with. We understand the problems ahead of us. We're dealing with them. Whereas Bitcoin seemed to have gone into this. Oh no, we're just a store of value now. It's like no, you're not. You've just changed the narrative. It was a medium of exchange. Then you realise there's bottlenecks and problems that can't make you a medium of exchange. So instead of dealing with that problem, you've just changed the narrative. We're a store of value now.
Exactly. And you see it in all the conversations. It's just rife at the moment. But yeah, 100% agree.
Kaspa will win out. I know it will, because the cypherpunks are still out there, man, and they're fucking. We've got Kaspa on its radar, and the true cypherpunks are coming over. Like I said, we're most of us are Bitcoiners, and the reason we love Kaspa is because we love Bitcoin. So yeah, I think it's something that's going to happen.
Agreed.
But yeah, anyway, I'll let you get to sleep, Wolf, because I know it's about your bedtime now.
Well, my bedtime's usually 10, so I give you guys an extra hour to relax, and it's tough because usually when I wake up on Tuesdays, my workout's really bad. It's hardcore, but always love to be here.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I do appreciate your time always. Go have some sleep.
Will do.
Cheers, bro. And that leads us on to Ashton. How are you doing, sir?
I'm well, man. Thanks for asking. It's funny. I've been here for about 2 hours, and the whole time I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm happy to be here. It's Monday. It's Blockchain Banter, and it's after the Sunday roast. So I've had a lot of energy this whole show. How are you guys?
I'm absolutely knackered. I'm glad you've got energy. I'm knackered after the Sunday roast. I didn't get to bed till about 2 o'clock. But again, like you said, I do actually really enjoy Blockchain Banter, and I particularly did enjoy this one. Not that I don't all the time anyway, but I really am fascinated about Cassia. So I was really glad that we could dive into that. But yeah, I mean, Blockchain Banter is always a cool thing to come onto. I love coming onto Blockchain Banter.
Oh yeah, man, that's awesome. And Cassia, I'm kind of like preferring to the term Cassia. I'm kind of hoping they tell us in the future that it's Cassia. But either way, the product itself is freaking awesome. It was great to learn about it. But we don't have too much this week, so we don't have to keep anyone too long. I know it's been a 2-hour show already. Moonbound stuff. So I wasn't on last week, which was one of the very few blockchain banners that I've missed in the last year. So it's really weird. But we did get a new Moonbound update out last week that a lot of people have already seen that had, I think, 7 or 8 different UI improvements. One of the big things we did was upgrading the smart contracts that power the token launches and bonding curve to be upgradable in the future. One of the things we have to rely on for Moonbound is the price of Kaspa. And this, obviously we don't have an L2 that exists yet, so we don't have an oracle that exists to provide that CAS price. So right now we're manually updating this regularly, and we're gonna need to be able to update these smart contracts to plug into that future price oracle when it exists. So this was a huge development bottleneck that we knew that was coming, and we got past it, I want to say 7-8 days ago. So everything everyone's using now are those upgradable smart contracts anyway. We do have another big update coming to Moonbound tomorrow, and we will see a lot of UI improvements here. So our earn page, which actually integrates the Zealous Swap staking pools, both the Nacho Infinity pool and the Nacho Cats NFT staking pool, those will be viewable on the Moonbound site. So you can see where your staking is, deal with revenue share calculations and things like that, all within the application. We also introduced a new portfolio page. So if you're currently using Moonbound, you can go up to your wallet in the top right and click Mission Control, and you get your little, kind of profile activity page for your wallet. And starting tomorrow, we'll see a portfolio component on here as well. We saw some feedback from the community where they said, hey, I need to get some of my TCAS back because I can only get 50, per day from the faucet. I don't know which token I bought. How do I figure out which one to sell? So it's really cool to see this community feedback loop of people actually using it, submitting the feedback form, and then us being able to deliver these features. But you'll be able to see what tokens you bought on Moonbound Test tomorrow. And on that note, with TCAS, because the smart contract addresses are going to change in the update tomorrow, if you need any TCAS back from the current Moonbound instance, go in and sell your tokens tonight. It's all obviously, testnet. None of it has value. It doesn't really matter what these are. But you will see the Moonbound database wiped tomorrow on the next beta release. And this is because those smart contract addresses changed. So none of the old test tokens will be able to be interacted with, buy and sell. So if you need to pull out any of that TCAS, just go sell those tokens tonight. And then, over the next probably 18 hours, you'll see that database wiped and a fresh Moonbound beta instance to test. But aside from that, Chris, numbers wise, it was a slightly slower week than a couple weeks ago. So we saw nearly 2,000 unique users testing over the last 7 days. And I think that came out to, just under 1 million total requests. So I've asked the dev team to go get transaction counts on that, how many buys and sells, but I don't have that data just yet. So that have to be an update in the future.
Well, I still think that's pretty good, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not as large as we saw previously, but it kind of makes sense without being on BB last week and not having a huge update with new things to test. So we'll see how this next week goes with the nice fun upgrades.
So does everybody have to sell their Hutchie now? Because I think they've already done that.
Yeah, if the token's already graduated, there's nothing you can do. You can go, swap it on Zealous testnet if you want. But yeah, it's mainly just for tokens that haven't graduated on Moonbound yet. If you want to grab that test cast, then go sell it.
See, I'm waiting for somebody to launch a duffel bag on Moonbound.
Let's just say I don't think you're going to have to wait long.
Yeah, that would be awesome. If you could try and make just duffel 0 fee, that would be fantastic, because then it would make sense. But
it'll feel like cash.
Exactly, yeah. Good old fiat. Who needs crypto? But yeah, no, it's really cool what you guys are doing. So with this wipe now, with wiping the database, so this includes upgrades, does it, to what you were just describing with Moonbound there?
Yeah, it's essentially, so there's a number of UI updates that are coming, right? With the earn page, the portfolio aspect, there's an improved user experience for visiting tokens that have already graduated, where you have some kind of celebratory messages there, and then a closer tie to the Zealous swap instance to be pushed over there to actually still be able to trade it. So you will see a number of those UI updates, but the smart contract piece is why we have to reset the test tokens. And this is just because those smart contracts change, right? Our old ones were non-upgradable. So they had, contract address 1, for example, and now we've got to migrate that over and redeploy those contracts with the changes for that upgradability. So the development's all done and the testing's all done, but we do need to push it into the beta test environment, and it'll mean none of those old tokens deployed work anymore.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. And again, I'm assuming you guys just can't wait to get on mainnet now either. I know you said you're going to, Moonbound's going to be, did you say roughly about a week after launch of AL2?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, within a week. It may be 2-3 days. We'll give everyone a heads up and be communicative about it. But we just want to make sure that, everything goes smooth with the L2 before this gets out there.
Yeah, totally makes sense, man. And any updates for Nacho at all?
We're continuing pushing forward. We've got conversations going on with a couple big, I almost said something I wasn't supposed to, a couple big NFT marketplaces, since the Nacho Cats NFT collection will be going to L2 and be EVM compatible. It opens up a lot more opportunity for listing those. We also have a couple conversations with centralized exchanges for listing Nacho token itself. Timing doesn't feel right for us or the exchanges at the very moment, but we're essentially dotting I's, crossing T's, so we're ready to move quick when this market picks back up, which inevitably seems to be happening.
It certainly does, which is always a good thing. I personally am looking forward to the rooftop party in Berlin. I think that's going to be awesome.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun. And we've made a ton of progress on that. I mean, that's soaking up so much time and energy right now. And I've got to thank, you publicly, Chris, Chad, Rubarbarian, Luke, the global ambassador, and a number of other people that we've spoken to about this. Actually, the visual eye, I see him down there. Over the last week, we've made a lot of progress on the event. So we've seen posts come out. Tangem is officially going to be a sponsor of the event. We will have Tangem wallets for sale on site at the Kaspa experience in Berlin. Some of these may just be standard Tangems, but we know for a fact we're going to have custom Kaspa branded ones, as well as Nacho and a few other KRC20. So I believe Caspi and Goad and Casper, maybe there's a couple others, but we're working closely with Tangem. So they'll send out at least one rep, and I think they've got some photography media people that are coming with that rep. And you'll be able to buy a hardware wallet on site directly from the vendor. No shipping, no Amazon, no resellers. We've also added.
Sorry to stop you there, but I've been looking for an excuse to get a Tangem card, and I think I may do it live and direct out there.
There you go. Get a nice video on it too. Show the entire purchase happening in CAS, and then using your new CAS wallet.
Honestly, I love Tangem. I think they're a brilliant hardware wallet, so I'm really glad they're coming. I actually hope they send Crypto Victor. If he comes, that would be awesome, because he's a hardcore Caspian as well, but he obviously works for Tangem. But he's a really nice guy, actually. So do you know who they're sending out now, Joe?
I don't.
Ashton,
I don't just yet. Yeah. We're working. I think everyone in this space knows Nikita and a couple of these other folks. We were talking with Nikita, and then Anna. She was the host of that podcast that recently came out. Tell Us About Yourself. I almost forgot the name of the podcast I was on. But yeah, they're doing great, but they haven't told us exactly who's coming yet.
Fair enough. Oh, I almost forgot the Tell Us About Yourself podcast you done with Tangem.
Apparently, both of us.
Yeah, yeah. You actually come across really, really well. I thought it was a brilliant podcast, actually.
Thank you. You know how I feel about video calls, so it was an interesting day when we recorded it like a month ago, but it was a lot of fun, and they do such an amazing job. I mean, we did most of it in just a single take, and their editing team is awesome. It turned out really good.
I don't know why you don't like video calls, because you're such a good speaker anyway.
Yeah, they tell me I'm good looking too, but I just am not. Like, I just don't enjoy it. It's not a fun process.
You definitely are good looking. No diddy. But yeah, no, I thought it could come across really, really well.
Hey, Chris, who was it that we spoke to with Tangent? Was that Victor or?
No, that was Nikita.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
There's two Nikitas, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, two Nikitas, one Victor, one Anna, I think.
Well, it'd be fun to figure out if those conversations that I thought were all with one Nikita were with two separate ones.
Bro, I was literally talking to Nikita, thinking that he was the other Nikita, and he was just like looking at me like with a blank stare, and I was like, "How many Nikitas are in Tangem?" He said, "Yeah, two." I was like, "Oh, right, okay, this makes sense. I'm not talking to the right one."
Oh, that's hilarious. I just thought he had two different Telegram handles in the chat. Now it makes so much sense.
Yes, exactly, because this is exactly what I did as well. I was speaking to one Nikita and then speaking to another, but not realising. Anyway, absolute minefield. But yeah, really good that they're a sponsor for the Kaspa experience. Again, this is something I'm really looking forward to. Is there anything more you can release about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So also in the last week, we added Egra Labs as a sponsor. So Egra will have a booth at the Kaspa Experience. They'll send a couple folks, I think. I know Pavel will be there at least because he has a speaker session. So if you want to learn about upcoming Egra Labs L2 information, Pavel will be delivering it live and direct from Berlin. And then we've kind of spruced up the website a little bit. So you'll see Web3 Poker Club on there, Rhubarb Media as a sponsor on there, so we've added a few others. The Visual Eye is also up there, and this is an exciting opportunity. So I met with Craig last week. I hope he's okay with me talking about this. But I mean, fantastic guy, and the work that they're doing. Obviously, we've seen the wallpapers and the TV Acres NFTs, and they're fantastic. But we started talking a lot more about the event itself and what's possible, and we're actually going to showcase a Kaspa ecosystem art exhibition there. So we'll have a double wide booth that will showcase some digital artwork, or digital versions of artwork, I should say, from the Visual Eye. We expect Boku to submit some. And we were just talking to another individual that I can't say I knew before they emailed. They're out of the Netherlands, but they're going to try and submit some artwork there too. So if you're interested in, Kaspa ecosystem artwork or artwork from artists that are Caspians, we'll see this live at the event as well. And the artists are able to include some information so that you can go, learn more about or acquire some of their artwork right there.
I'm actually quite shocked because I think this is a brilliant idea. I really do. I'm not a particularly arty person myself, but I know what I like. Visual Eye stuff's fantastic. Boku stuff is incredible as well. So I'm really glad they're going to be there. But there is actually, and I'm actually quite surprised about it, there's a lot of people that really do genuinely love good art. So I think this is a really good draw for people as well. If this is up your street, yeah, certainly come along to the Kaspa Experience. I think it's going to be. I'm really looking forward to this. This genuinely has been just. I think my missus is getting annoyed at me now because I keep saying, "Oh, like I can't wait for this, can't wait for this," realizing that I'm not taking her.
Yeah, it's a delicate conversation in my house too. My two daughters want to go so bad, and it's right after their new school year starts. My oldest is starting high school; she's going into 9th grade, and I'm just like, no, I don't think so. It's not going to happen.
It's going to be so good, and the venue's awesome, man. I mean, it's picturesque. It's actually like perfect to bring your family to, except I'm not. And you're not, apparently. So,
yep. So we'll just skip that part. It's perfect for a crypto festival and economy. That's what it's perfect for.
Exactly. And again, this is what I really want to nail home to people: is if you've got someone that you're trying to explain Kaspa to, especially like Bitcoiners and people like that, this is the perfect experience for it. Like you said, the main event, the Kaspa Experience. I know it's funded and put on by CAT, which is Kaspa Alliance for Transparency, but it is you've obviously made this the focus, the main event focus, really about Kaspa itself, about the tech, about the use case, and like you said, you've made a Kaspa economy. Like it's a sort of like simulation of what a Kaspa economy could look like in real life, and I think that's a really big draw as well. I want to try and get as many people there that aren't into Kaspa to go to experience this. That's the whole point of it, the Kaspa Experience. Really looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's a huge opportunity, and it is 100% Kaspa focused. So, I mean, regardless, we've got a Nacho after party. We'll celebrate that year of community building and work that we've done as a project. But the event itself is designed to highlight Kaspa, and specifically why traveling to Berlin with a tangem full of Kaspa is a whole lot easier than bringing a duffel bag full of cash. And you can still buy a coffee in a second while you're there.
Anybody who brings duffel bag full of cash, we'll have to leave it at the door because this is a cats-only event.
Yeah. We'll check it and hold it for you. You might get it back at the end in Kaspa, or not at all.
Oh, love it! Yeah.
I'd love to see a duffel bag full of Kaspa.
The interesting thing you say, because we were looking at some of the swag bag merch. You know, you go to the conferences, you leave with a bag of some materials from sponsors, things they want you to learn, and kind of guide you on your customer journey with them. But you also just get a lot of fun merch. And Rhubarb and I were talking about it before, and you know, those little metal keychains and the enamel Kaspa pins, and it may not be that unrealistic to see a duffel bag full of Kaspa, at least Kaspa logos.
Have you guys? That's cool. To be honest, have you guys spoken with any metal manufacturers that maybe they could use their spare or unused metal to make these keyrings for you?
No, actually, but that's a really fun idea. And
sorry, go on.
No. I just agree with you. It seems like a really cool idea. It's not something I would have considered before.
Cool. So these tags that I've got for the club, this person family owns the manufacturers. I haven't spoken to him for just over a year, but I'll reach out and see if they're still doing it, because maybe that's something that we can talk about and get some of that those keyrings made for the event.
Absolutely. Yeah, please do. And let me know what they say. I'd love to talk to them.
Cool.
Yeah, it's perfect timing too, because we're kind of finalizing these things. We've got two different vendors that are semi-local to Germany that we're talking to tomorrow to finalize them and see if we can get their products or services available at the event. And then I've got a midnight call tonight, my time, with a very well-known exchange in the Kaspa ecosystem that is interested in sponsoring as well. So hopefully we've got some more updates on those in the coming days.
Nice, man. Awesome. I was going to add as well that this person is in the US, and I sent a bunch over to my then partner of the club in LA as well. So it arrived within a day. So I think it's pretty close. I'm not sure where, but it's pretty close.
Nice. To you. Yeah, very good. I don't. Yeah, and we can always ship them over there if we need to. My head went immediately to walking through the airport in TSA with a duffel bag full of metal key rings.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I just got a little small bag of these key rings. I've got them right next to me, actually. I'm gonna have to tell him.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, please do let me know. It's cool.
That would be hilarious. How do you even explain that? Well, I mean, it's a good way to get the TSA onto Kaspa, at least.
Yeah, it definitely is. We'll hold a little summit right there in the line for everyone watching.
Yeah, let me explain to you what this is all about while you're getting strip searched. Yeah, no, it's been perfect. Yeah, so I'm really am looking forward to this. I think it's going to be a brilliant event.
Yeah, I fully agree, man. And if you haven't tested Moonbend recently, definitely go in, swap out those tokens that are going to get reset, and create some new ones tomorrow. It seems like we've not got much time to get in your last little bits of feedback and beta testing before a mainnet happens from all this noise on X.
I mean, that is really exciting. If again, got to manage expectations, but if this announcement in, was it the 21st or 25th, or I can't remember, soon.
Their event in Malaysia is the 21st and 22nd. I didn't check the agenda yet, but something tells me 22nd feels like the day that we hear something.
Yeah, definitely. So if that is mainnet launch, that will just be massive news for Kaspa. And massive news for you guys. I mean,
oh, I think everyone here is just waiting with bated breath, man. It's as soon as they are confident they can do it right and a bridge is there and everything, I think we're ready.
Gonna be epic, man. Levendi, have we got any questions for Moonbound or anybody who's been up?
No questions have come through. Specific, I think there was one that did actually, and it got answered pretty much as you guys were talking. Crypto in the comments, the latest comments, laughing at the duffel bag, of course. You guys have made that absolutely go viral, man. I swear to God, it's hilarious. I woke up the morning after that space, and all I was seeing across my timeline was duffel bag this and duffel bag that. I couldn't stop laughing, man. Honestly.
There's one I can't. Oh, is it? I want to say the name right. String Cat or?
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he's the one. He's got a big post about duffel bags as well with Onion, right?
Maybe they've done so many of them. I think it's actually a woman, but honestly, it's just been one after the other. I've been howling with laughter. I mean, it's so petty from from our side, but it's just. I think it is petty, but it's funny as well because it's turned it into a meme, and I think it's so like it is really really funny, and I've joined in with it a lot. It just blew my brain. Honestly, it blew my brain as soon as I heard. Well, you just use a duffel bag full of cash. I thought. We've gone so far away from cypherpunk, haven't we? Like, really, if that's the it's not supposed to be easy. I'm not saying we're going to take over the world with crypto in the next like day, but come on, like this is what the cypherpunk movement was about. It was to like you got to start somewhere and you got to push it. So yeah, it blew my head when that was said. But it is funny that the memes have just been coming out with it. They're so good. Keep it up. I think it'll be part of Kaspa Kaspa culture for life.
Yeah, 100%. Right. Anytime anybody mentions the word duffel bag, people will know. I think in years to come, you just mentioned duffel bag. That's it. Instant memory of this situation. But it's just I don't know. I found it. That space, I didn't know what to make of it. I made a post about the numbers, of course, and that was a bit eye-opening as well. We've seen how strong the community is with Kaspa, and so many things that were said and out of context or insults, and I don't know what to make of the whole thing. Firstly, it was too long of a space, 4 hours long, man. I mean, I know we tend to go on sometimes 2-3 hours, but 4 hours. The attention span on people on Twitter is not that long. You know what I mean? It's just I said it in my post. If there were to ever, which I don't think they will now, but if they were to ever do a second round of this show, I'd like to see if less guest speakers and ones that know what they're talking about from both sides, especially true OG Bitcoiners that came into here for the ethos and not the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is something that needed to get sorted out. And like you said, 4 hours is a long time, man. Like you said, 2 hours. We go on for 2 hours, and even I'm bored of my own voice, and I love the sound of my own voice. So 4 hours is way too long. And again, like you said, it would be good to yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I think it was a net positive, to be honest with you. I think it exposed Kaspa to a lot more people that never would have been exposed to it before. But it's yeah. I didn't like the way it was geared, and it did come across bad from I think anyway from the Bitcoiners' point of view, because they weren't. It's almost like they didn't realise, even understand how their technology works, and or say how Bitcoin network works. And it seemed a lot of. I can't remember if it was the post, but that did make me laugh, because I think it was Nick said, "Can you give me a rundown of what happened on it?" And I can't remember their name, but someone put basically Bitcoiners farting into each other's mouths and saying that it tastes good. And I just thought that pretty much summed it up quite well. It was funny. I can't remember who wrote that. But no, it was funny.
Probably Nick just played off that as well, man. Fucking Nick, we love him. But yeah, that nice, hilarious. I don't know what Zealous. Did you catch up to that space at all, or busy working?
Probably busy throwing up.
I don't know. Nacho, what's your take? Ashton, what's your take on that? I don't know if you caught up with the whole thing.
I did not listen to the entire thing. I listened to like 3/4 of it. I had my kids' soccer tryouts that morning, so I got like the first hour live, and I came back and listened to 2 more hours, and then my ears were bleeding a little bit. I had to leave and clean it up. I don't know, man. It felt like a time where you just noticed that everyone's lost the plot. You know, I kind of sat back halfway through, and I'm like, Jesus, dude, why are we even having space? Why are we even debating? I mean, if you think that fiat in any capacity is an acceptable alternative, you know, to Bitcoin or to Kaspa or anything, it's just we're not even reading the same book anymore at all. It just feels like that space felt like an example of how a lot of like Bitcoin maximalism has gone from, you know, really like cypherpunk, technical, logical thinking, anti-government, anti-censorship, to, you know, BlackRock, can you buy more? Michael Saylor, can you buy more so that we can, you know, be happy? It was disappointing. You know, you kind of look at Bitcoin and all of crypto, and you go, okay, these are the real guys. These are the ones who actually care about tech, actually care about the movement. And then you hear them talk just like they're, you know, a lot of meme coin team. And you're like, dude, come on, this is a revolution, and you got to care a little bit more about that. So I hadn't read that X post itself, but, you know, farting into each other's mouths and telling each other, like, it feels pretty freaking accurate.
Oh, it was accurate. It was. And like, I do want to give them props to some degree, because they, in fairness to them, they let Kaspa on to their space, and I don't think they were the greatest hosts. I don't think they were neutral. Well, they weren't neutral at all. But in fairness, at the beginning, they said they're not going to be neutral. This is Bitcoin Army. So it is what it is, and they were rude to a certain extent, but they did let Kaspa go on. Yeah, I don't know. I'm exactly the same as you, Ashton. It just felt like it feels like neo Bitcoiners, where they're just completely, like, fairly new to Bitcoin, and I suppose they've got some sort of thing of, yeah, this is. It just felt like a lot of buzzwords were getting thrown out, because that's the sort of culty side of it, without actually knowing the reason behind those buzzwords, if you know what I mean. Like, I think someone said, yeah, well, I value sovereignty. And then it was like, well, and then literally the next few minutes saying, well, why do I need sovereignty in a coffee shop? And I'm thinking, well, what the fuck do you want? Like, what do you want? Where are the cypherpunks?
I mean, first of all, if you don't get it in the coffee shop, you don't get it anywhere. Okay, that's just the fact of the truth, right? If you don't have it everywhere, you don't have it anywhere. So you want it in the coffee shop because you want it everywhere else, and it's just logical. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure we've all like argued with someone, and you can see them forming their response before you even finish your sentence or your point, you know, and they're not listening to you and having a discussion. They're combating everything you say, and I think there was a lot of that. I mean, to be fair, on both sides, even some of the Kaspa side of it was like just saying something to get the point across, or just saying that you know, we're better for X, Y, and Z reason. It just didn't. It felt like it lacked the genuine, logical, like, academic debate that is necessary for that type of conversation to actually have a ton of value.
I think it's hard to have that debate though when you're, like you said, you're up against people that aren't wanting that debate, if you know what I mean. They're gearing it towards something else, so you sort of feel like you have to defend yourself. Yeah, I don't know.
That's the perfect word. It's defensiveness, for sure. And some of it may be like warranted, or like felt like you have to be defensive. But I mean, even the name of the space and the intro of it in the very first, you know, kind of 10, 15 minutes was defensive before any Caspian had said anything. So yeah, I don't know if pointing fingers matters, or if you go, oh, it's, you know, you guys started it type, who cares, right? But it wasn't nearly as valuable as it could have been. And I think a lot of it was just defensiveness.
The bar was set from the title of the space, from when they created it. That's the bottom line of it. I mean, we should have all known what to expect, bottom line, to be honest. But again, grateful that they let it happen. And also, I've got to give props to some of their speakers, because some of them came up there insulting, calling it scam, came out of the space by the end of it, apologizing, looking into it, and even buying some Kaspa. So I've got to give props to some of the speakers that came up on that stage to really look like took a step back and thought, why are these guys so mad and screaming about this technology? It's got to be something. And yeah, ended up taking back their words and dove into the tech, which was good to see.
Yeah, I mean, when you compare a 2 billion market cap and a 2 trillion market cap, I mean, the marketing leverage says that any press is good press from Kaspa's perspective. It's probably still a net positive.
I do think it is a net positive because, again, like Levendi said, I've seen a lot or more Bitcoiners now start to think about this, talk about it. Even Gary Cardone, he's not talking about it in a positive light, but he's talking about it. And again, when someone like that posts, you don't have to convince him. All you have to do is have good responses to what they're saying. And a lot of people, that's a lot of exposure because he's got a lot of followers. Everyone else is looking into that. That's why, like, again, but most of the Kaspa community don't say, oh, just buy Kas, which, again, I love this. It's not just buy Kaspa. We're not asking you to buy Kaspa. Look into it because ultimately the breadcrumbs will lead you to buying Kaspa more than likely. Because if you are a true crypto person, if you value proof of work, if you value that sort of cypherpunk ideal, when you really understand what Kaspa is, or start to understand what Kaspa is, it blows your brain. When you look under the hood, you go, Jesus, I've just sent that transaction. I've just sent it and it's landed in my wallet, like literally in seconds. This must be some sort of trickery. And it's like, no, you look under the hood, it's a proof of work. It's insane. It's insane. And that's actually something that did piss me off about the Bitcoin space, was that they kept dismissing speed as like it's nothing. And it's like, no, I think we should lean into speed. Speed is everything. Everything. If you want faster internet, the faster internet wins. Why do you think they're putting fiber optic cables everywhere and all sorts of other shit? Because they want it being fastest is what matters. So, like, even in war, when you've got fighter jets and things like this, you want to be the fastest fighter jet. You don't want to, like, even milliseconds matter. Being quick is a big thing. Now being quick and secure and decentralized, that is it. That you've won, like, really. So I didn't like that sort of attitude of, oh, it's just speed. Well, oh, so you're quicker. That's it. No, that's not just it. That's massive. Like, do you understand how massive that is? I think we should really lean into that more, because that shouldn't be dismissed as a nothing thing. Oh, so you're just faster. No, we're just faster and on a proof of work Nakamoto consensus, or generalization of a Nakamoto consensus. It's like, that is big news. Kaspa has solved the trilemma.
Nah, bro, you haven't sold me. What are you talking about, man? You haven't sold me nothing.
Yeah, gun to head. What are you getting?
Gun to head. Is this technology real? It's slow, bro. What the fuck?
But this is the other thing. Like, why does anyone think proof of stake was made or formulated? But because speed. Like, nobody thought you could. Nobody thought that you could scale or like proof of work. So they just went, right, well, what's the best thing we can do now? Because we need speed. We'll go proof of stake. It pisses me off because this is such a breakthrough in technology. Like, it genuinely is. A proof of work that can scale has solved the trilemma. And I just really didn't like that sort of just, oh, it's just speed, don't worry about it. No, we should fight back against that a lot more, because it's a much bigger deal than people let on, if you know what I mean.
Well, don't you think it's like that reaction is like indicative or the evidence of just the defensive-ness in there? Because so much of that so much of that space, I didn't listen to the end of it, but so much of it felt like the pushback against Kas was essentially time. It was your security budget isn't as high because you don't have as many miners and hash rate. You don't have the same, price appreciation. You don't have the same adoption. All of that is just time. I don't actually know the numbers off the top of my head, but I bet that if you map Bitcoin since inception and Kaspa since inception, those numbers look a lot different when you normalize them for the time that these have been out, right? So this whole thing about speed and like, oh, you need more adoption, it just feels like baseless defensiveness that's essentially just going to solve itself in time.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. And to be honest with you, those sort of arguments I can understand. When they say I prefer Bitcoin because it's got shit ton more hash rate, well, yeah, that's true, and so I understand that, and I totally respect that side of the argument. But that, like you said, that goes with time, and it's not a static thing anyway. Like how, well, that it is fact. Bitcoin is more secure than Kaspa's network because of the hash rate, but again, there's things that Bitcoiners really do need to look at for the future, because that hash rate may very well start falling, and when that hash rate falls, it may go, possibly, this is all speculation, but it may go, that hash rate may go over to Kaspa, because Kaspa starts becoming the more profitable engine there. And like, to be honest with you, I think Kaspa's got a good chance in a relatively short amount of time, 10, 20 years maybe, of actually catching up to Bitcoin's hash rate, because the incentives there for miners, or sorry, the incentives potentially there for miners to join onto Kaspa's network.
Yeah, 100%. And it's also where the speed differentiation, like there's a market for both. You know, no one in that debate came in and said Bitcoin shouldn't exist because Kaspa is better, right? I mean, if you're a nation moving, you know, 12 figures of money, then yeah, you probably should care about the networks, you know, that use the network that is the most secure possible. Who cares about time? Who cares about fees? Whatever. But this is exactly why not bringing a duffel bag of cash into Starbucks and using Kaspa makes sense, because no one cares as much about the $5 coffee. And if you're using the most secure system in the world to transfer your file, you just care that you do it in a couple seconds so you can get your damn coffee and leave. There's a use case for both. And if you sit there and say, oh, it's not valuable because it's not Bitcoin, there's no logic behind it. It's just defensiveness.
Yeah, and I think that's where, for a lot of Caspians, I think that's the sort of heartbreaking part of it, is because we love, or a lot of us love Bitcoin as well. So it's not like there's a difference of scale there, isn't it? Like Caspians love Bitcoin as well. Bitcoiners hate Kaspa because they don't understand it, and it's like, no, I'm not saying I don't like you guys. Let's work together. It's going to be awesome. And it's like, no, because you're a shitcoin. It's like, well, I don't really like the sound of that. Do you know what I mean? So then you have to sort of double down on your defensiveness, and it's, I don't know, but I do think it definitely was a net positive, and I have seen, I don't know, correlation isn't causation, or the other way around, whatever it is, but it may not be a direct result of the Bitcoin space, but I think it probably is. More Bitcoiners are now starting to talk about Kaspa, which in my eyes is a brilliant thing. We don't need people to buy Kaspa initially. We just need people to study Kaspa. And if you are in that, if I'm assuming a majority of Bitcoiners are in Bitcoin because of what Bitcoin is, like the proof of work side of things. It's really secure, really decentralized. So if they're already in it because of that, then Kaspa is a logical next step for them, in my opinion.
As you mentioned that there's more Bitcoiners talking about it, going back to Gary Cardone, I pinned up your reply on the Jumbotron. You are, I think, 6 likes away from ratioing his post, which is mental because it's got over 20,000 views and you've got less than 1,000 views, and you're almost ratioed his fucking original post. It's crazy.
It's because I went all beg on people inside the blockchain banter chat.
It's completely justified though. It's like, it's absolute. Do you know what? As we're here, everyone listening, jump onto Jumbotron for a second. If you haven't already, like that reply on Chris, the latest Jumbotron. Get that ratio done on this guy, Carrie Cardone's post. I think he's on almost 100,000 followers or something. Let me double check. Yeah, 86.8K followers. And we got Chris, 10 blocks per second bricklayer. Sorry, 10 bricks per second bricklayer ratioing him.
I love it, man. Crypto Order, you're up.
Yo, how's it going, guys?
Awesome, man. You. By the way, you've done a fantastic job on that space.
Thank you. I think that was a great success, even though you can't always come blazing with the facts. I feel like we could have come slightly better prepared, but I still, by a massive margin, I think the Bitcoiners seem to be the ones that were like, just if you're listening, you knew nothing about cryptocurrency, it just would seem like they were the ones that were just blocking every point before anybody had a chance to finish, type of thing. So I think in the test of time, and this thing has had, I think, like 10 times more views than any of their previous spaces, which is pretty amazing as well. So I think that was pretty good.
Yeah, bro, I think they had about 23,000 extra listeners from the judging from their previous space. It was just fucking mental.
I think it's touching it like 350,000 views now or something like that. Last I saw it was like past 300. And so if I saw their other races, it was like 25,000, 30,000. So
how many views did the crypto.com post reach? Because maybe that's beating it now.
I have no idea, but possibly for sure. And they're gonna, they have their own marketing, and their marketing is gonna be like, everyone else is an AI now. So any sort of engagement is fake. And then security budget will fix itself, and 2140, we're good. And there's no need to even think about it because we have incorruptible perfect money. And it's just such a logical gap that we have to like dominate if that's what they're bringing to the table. I basically, since that conversation, since he started bringing up the stuff about 2140 and how they're basically cruising with no problems. And then also he said some stuff about fiat, how you can't judge it in fiat. So I basically made this new simulator that leaves fiat completely out of the conversation. And then let me just pull it up here. So I basically take the security budget and I start saying how much Bitcoin per year needs to go towards that security budget. And so instead of dollars, right? So 0.5 security budget would be 105,000 Bitcoin per year. And a 1% security budget would be 210,000 Bitcoin per year. So essentially it's like with this I'm gonna be sending it to that dude directly somehow, and maybe I'll make a video about it or whatnot. But I'm making a simulator. It's called 25 Years of Bitcoin, and I'm just kind of watching it right now because it moves as I look at it. But by the year like it's at 2023 right now. I just gotta wait. The block reward per year goes from 164,000 down to 82,000 in 2030, down to 41,000 in 2033, down to 20,000 in 2037, down to 10,000 in 2040, so on and so forth. You can see that this 5% or sorry 0.5% security budget of 105 Bitcoin, by the time it's 2050, they have 2,000 Bitcoin from their block rewards. So I'm basically gonna, as fluently as I can, try to slap this guy in the face with the fact that they're not flying on a safe aircraft till 21, and see how well I can do it in such a way that's like explain this to a 5-year-old.
Explain it to the
The
world
thing-
like they all eat crayons.
yeah. But the thing is, I want them to address this. I want, like, because it is a serious problem, and I want Bitcoin to survive. So it's like, stop burying your head in the sand. This is something that, and that's what really annoyed me about that argument as well. You can't do it in fear. Can't do it in fear. It's like, well, you're so contradictory because you keep saying can't do it in fear, and then the next breath, oh well, do you still use fiat to pay for everything because it's not like Kaspa's the standard now? And it's like, well, what? You can't pick your poison. You can't just keep flicking between these logical fallacies all the time. You've got to stick to something. Are you wanting it to be done in fiat? And if you are, and okay, that's fair enough. If because the world is run on fiat,
Right.
but then
They kept moving the goalpost for sure.
Yeah, exactly. It just didn't make sense.
They really embarrassed themselves. I swear. If Satoshi is still around, he would have been ashamed of anybody trying to represent that side.
Yeah, the realizations that I'm having right now, I remember I used to look at these proof of stake networks and I used to think, well, you can't have a medium of exchange unless you have a store of value. That just won't work. And I thought Bitcoin's going to be fine. And then now I'm starting to realize that you can't have a store of value without a medium of exchange, because those coffee purchases that are, or any of the medium-sized purchases as well, those 50-cent fees that everybody uses, if this is massively adopted, it's like the security budget, without giving anybody any stress, is so fucking massive. Like 2.5 billion transactions a day at 100 blocks per second. So it's got room for the entire planet basically to do a transaction whenever they want. And then with Bitcoin, you have, the 600,000 transactions a day. So I always use the metaphor, if it's 10 million people, then they can use it once every 2 weeks. And if it's 200 million people, they can use it once a year. And if it's 200 million people, that's 2.5% of the world using it once a year with a $10,000 fee to defend against 97.5% of the world to stop their system. And they're sitting there waiting in line for a year to do one transaction. Or the alternative is 10 million people using it once every 2 weeks. And now it's 0.1% of the population defending against 99.9% of the population for securing this ultimate system for everybody. And nobody's going to buy that. The reality is, you're going to have a system where 100% of the people contribute to the security budget, and there's nobody that you're defending against. Yeah.
Yeah. This is it. And exactly like you said, they brush off the sort of coffee payments, like it doesn't need to be a medium of exchange. Yes, it does, because that is where your fees are coming from. That is going to secure the network. And like you said, if everyone adopts this attitude of, right, we'll use the crypto like Bitcoin, or they can't use Bitcoin, they use Kaspa, that directly feeds the security. And what you'll get is a positive flywheel, because the more money that's coming in via fees through these little tiny transactions, make the network more secure, because more miners want to get in on the action. So it's like it's directly.
It's just hash rate. And it's like hash rate on hash rate on hash rate. Like in 15 years from now, they're going to think like, are we going to look at the DAG and go, yeah, the DAG still has 10 times more hash rate than Bitcoin, but I still trust Bitcoin because it's a chain, like that's because that's where things are going, because our throughput is going to be like, our ability to garner fees is going to be 3,000 times more than Bitcoin. So if our hash rate is, or 3 times easier, I guess is the best way to put it. But Yeah, this is a winning battle that we're going to be fighting here. I can tell you
Well,
right
it's
now.
it's just such a perfect example of resting on your laurels. You know, they're so invested in the first mover advantage that it's such an easy win at this point. It,
Yeah, well, I guess when you have a revelation, it takes a while to have another revelation. You know what I mean? Like, because Bitcoin is such a huge revelation, and then if you're gonna like, it's kind of, you have to drop a lot of, I don't know if it's ego or like, you're like, that's all my open-mindedness for this year that I can handle. I can't like fully commit to jumping ship on one thing just to tell everybody that I've jumped ship to another thing and that I was wrong again. You know what I mean? That's
well,
a
it's a hard thing as a human being to admit that you were wrong. So I mean, I can understand that from a certain perspective, but you
espe-
still have to have an open mind when something this revolutionary comes along. You can't ignore it.
yeah.
Don't worry. Don't worry. We've got 100+ years to figure it out. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's like, I love Bitcoin, and that's why I love Kaspa so much. It seems very
Exactly.
obvious.
And
Exactly. And this is it. This is the frustrating thing. We love Bitcoin, and we don't want to see it die. I mean, I don't know about you, Crypto. It sounds like you want to take over Bitcoin
I,
now.
I,
You
I
took
just
it
I just don't
personally.
see a world where in engineering sense, I just don't see game theory wise how something that is paid for by 0.1% of the population can defend against 99.9. It's just like, I don't know. It
I mean,
doesn't seem
I
sustainable.
get both sides of the argument. Like, I want Bitcoin to succeed, but I also was initially in Bitcoin because of its disruptive nature. And if it's not going to be a means of exchange, then it has ultimately failed in what it set out to be. So it has pivoted into, you know, this store of value narrative, but that is not what Bitcoin was meant to be. It was meant to disrupt the banking system, and when it doesn't do that, for me personally, that's disappointing.
And all the signposts are just pointing to less and less and less on-chain uh, demand because they just move it to the custodians, they move it to ETFs, and people just go, fuck that, I'll never touch it ever again, and it's all just pay Bitcoin. It's it's missing the point in a big, big way.
Well, I
Yeah.
also see it being usurped as well. When you see somebody as big as Michael Saylor, you know, accumulating nearly almost 1 million coins at this point, and then when he's asked about proof of reserves, and he gives some vague, scary answer, in my opinion, he doesn't want to show his wallet
Right.
address. It's like, dude, that is scary to me.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Serious question though. Like, how do we defend against that with Kaspa?
Ugh, that's a hard question.
Well, I think people will are using it so much that their fingers will gain a level of competency and understanding just through the fact that they're enveloped in it. Whereas Bitcoin, you go, okay, I'm not even gonna touch the actual technology that is on chain. I'm gonna go through some TradFi thing, and that's how I hold this like superior. So nobody will even have any sort of fluency in it. Whereas Caspa, it's like you'll see people all of a sudden like with the smart contracts. By the way, I think point that we didn't nail home that we need to start nailing home is that our smart contracts could also be done on Bitcoin, and they're not Turing complete. And it's not like this red herring that, Ethereum had this issue because programmable money, it leaves all these variables that are, and Jonathan accounted for that. He's not going to sacrifice that. And so we have this like unique way of doing smart contracts that just is pushed on or it's sat on top of our greatest advantage, which is our throughput and our speed, and it doesn't compromise security at all. Uh, I forget what you were saying. What was the question?
Well, I think the hoarder mentality has kind of taken over, and that's kind of lent itself to some of these larger entities just holding on to such a large percentage of the supply. Kaspa is lending itself to being more of the means of exchange, so I think that sort of, kind of lends itself to a more decentralized network effect.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and
that too. Yeah.
that makes sense as well. What you were saying is like is exactly that. Because Bitcoin's just seen as just a store of value now, people are just hoarding it. They're not using it.
But they're
So,
not even holding it, you know?
well, yeah, ETFs and that, it's just paper shit now. And it's only going to get worse. But yeah, but whereas Casper is actually meant to be used, it's going to be a lot more fluid movement going through there, less chance for people to keep hoarding, I suppose, because people are going to want to actually use it. I mean, that's the vision anyway. That's what we every cypherpunk should want to get to. But again, it's a hard battle. It's an uphill battle anyway. And yeah, like I think this is the difference between the two communities now. Casper does have its own problems that we have to deal with, or maybe not problems, but there's stuff that we have to deal with. For example, we do have a quick emission schedule, so we need those fees in, because we want that network secure. We want to feed the miners. That's stuff we have to deal with, but we're dealing with it head on. We understand the problem, and we're dealing with it head on. Bitcoiners really do just seem to be bury their head in the sand, change the narrative. It makes it seems better now. Problem's gone away, but the problem hasn't gone away. And I think they don't realise how quick this is going to become a problem for them, because they're expecting 100+ years of don't worry about it. But it's not going to work like that. The transaction fees are going to be fucking mental, quicker than they think.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely not with Bitcoin, but I do recall $1,000 transaction fees on Ethereum last cycle. We haven't seen quite that high this cycle, but I'm sure once it starts scaling even larger and larger, it will get to the point where Bitcoin's fees will get to a ridiculous point.
They've got their shit together, Ethereum, this cycle. There's no wonder you ain't seen thousands of in fees. And plus, they got diluted with so many L2s, man. I'm not gonna lie, that they've just, I don't know. There's transactions being shared. So it's just,
Yeah, it's being spread over many different networks this time around.
I have this feeling that Bitcoin, I know the fees, I project them to get to these high points, but I think the more likely scenario is that it becomes a situation where if they see a fee over a certain amount, over $50, they go, oh, I'll just wait. Like, there's nothing I was going to really do with it anyway. There's not, and I think the bigger fear is that the fees just don't go up at all with Bitcoin, and everyone just piles into ETFs, continues piling into ETFs, and then you have these huge honey pots which are just growing and growing and growing until the US government does like the Article 6102 and confiscates Coinbase's stuff or whatever.
Right.
But then that's where the security goes then, doesn't it? Hash rate's going to drop off because they're not getting the fees.
Yeah, I would say so. And then with Kaspa, you have this like, we almost are like spurred into this creativity because we have this perfect product where if you're an entrepreneur, you know that you can make some money by squeezing a cent off of every application that you put on Kaspa. And if you're smart enough and creative enough that you give something to the world that has not been done before and it fills a need, like Cassia or like all the other things that are about to come out, which I am fully faithful that we have not even seen the tip of the iceberg on this stuff, then I think our fees are going to be a cakewalk. And I don't even see myself in any situation going back to Bitcoin. There's like, I've said it before, like, this idea can't be put to rest. It's so much better of an idea that even if it's not even, it is functioning perfect, but even if there was something that was slightly wrong, it would still usurp Bitcoin in the end because it's just so much more functional, like an aircraft that actually flies fully around the globe before needing a refill, rather than like, I don't know, like the paper airplane with the Wright brothers or something.
Totally agree. I think we're going to have to wrap this up now, Levendi, because I'm fucking knackered. And it's a shame because I've
Wait.
really
I'm sorry.
enjoyed it.
You're gonna have to soldier it because Dark Lord is joining the stage. I want to hear his take.
Badass. Okay, yeah, we'll keep going. Let's go.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yo.
Yeah, you're good.
How you doing,
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to give a bit of a maybe controversial take on the BTC comparison that I've been seeing over the last week, and maybe a suggestion on how we approach it when dealing with these crazy Bitcoin maximalists. Because I heard that, I think I joined late to the BTC versus CAS big debate that was going on the other day, but I listened back to it all, and I was kind of proud at some of the stuff that was said on behalf of Kaspa, but at the same time I just was so disappointed that we went at it kind of head on with how small we are. I think it's inappropriate to be going at BTC like we shouldn't be comparing and saying, oh, in the end we're going to usurp BTC because we had 2 billion in market cap, and right now we don't need to be talking about the end goal of being a medium of exchange. We need to grow. Like, we need to be getting people on our team. And I think the best way we could do that with BTC guys is to kind of make them acknowledge that BTC is the king of store of value, but surely they would be interested in a project that's the best of everything else, like the best sequencing layer. And I think that's the value proposition that we could kind of win them over with, if you see what I mean. Like, surely they don't want a proof of stake Ethereum or Solana or whatever being the next best crypto. Why would they not want a project that has the exact same ethos as BTC, but the technology to be able to do everything else that BTC can't do? And that's what I kind of wish we focused on and continue to focus on when we're dealing with them, is kind of pointing out, like, look, guys, we're not trying to usurp you. We are a project that carries the same ethos that Satoshi designed 15 years ago, but we're trying to do everything else. We want to be the sequencing layer for decentralized finance. We want to, do all the stuff that BTC is not doing. And I think we'd get a lot better result and snowball effect of growth that we actually need, because it's not just fees we need. If the price was a lot higher, then miners would be getting rewarded a lot by just mining. We've still got 10 plus years of block rewards. So if the price was higher, that would solve a big security funding issue too. It's not just fee generation, it's price of the token. And to get that, we need to win people over.
I think that I was just saying this before. This is a realization that I've had and it's becoming more and more constantly, is medium of exchange narrative doesn't work without store of value, and store of value does not work without medium of exchange. Like, if you're working with BTC and then you want to go into a stable coin, which it can work as a medium of exchange. I understand why they say that, because it has stability. And the stability behind that is, the entire US military, which is printed dollars. And we all know that that's shaky ground. But they found a way through force to have a little bit of store of value with their medium of exchange. But when you have these, per se, shit coins, you can't really have medium of exchange when the price will fluctuate 40% in a day, or if it can't have future store of value narrative, it feels like people flee anyway.
Well, the problem, I think, is that a lot of them won't even, or aren't even willing to admit that there's even any value in a medium of exchange narrative anymore. They're so married to their bags that all they care about is number go up, store of value now.
Yeah, I agree. And that's why I'm putting my I guess my fence post in the Bitcoin killer, and like, not just Bitcoin killer, like Bitcoin, like bloody murder type of thing that nobody sees coming.
Do you
And
not
I
hold
just,
it? You don't hold any Bitcoin, just out of curiosity?
dude, I started liquidating the Bitcoin when I saw Kaspa drop below 10 cents, and I just could not stop. Uh, I had faith in the only thing I was slightly worried about was and I shouldn't have been. I was telling, I was just saying, like, this crescendo hard fork, I know it's gonna work. I have complete faith in everything these guys are doing, and even if something goes wrong, I know that the trajectory of our fee market, our hash rate that we are going to be able to garner is going to be so much more powerful that it doesn't make any sense to call them the store of value king anymore unless we find something wrong with the block DAG. And I've also said this before, that with AI, like, getting so much better every single year, it's doing like that 50 or like 5x increase every couple of years. The DAG, if there's any sort of thing that could be an issue, it's going to get filled with AI, and it's going to become absolutely if there's any vulnerabilities, it's going to get filled. So yeah.
I think everything you're saying is correct, but what I'm suggesting is that the time to have this kind of view of approaching kind of selling Casper to the world, and especially to people that hold Bitcoin, which we have to admit is pretty much every entity that we need to adopt Casper is in Bitcoin. So I think you have this conversation, you have this approach with showing our superiority to BTC once we're in the hundreds of billions in market cap, not when we're 2 billion. And like we cannot afford to be combative towards BTC when we are so far behind on our adoption, and to get even in the realms of possibility of even dreaming
I agree
of
with that.
touching that
I
level.
definitely agree with that.
We need to be friendly. We need to be like
Yo,
non-combative with
if
them, and it
I think
I can't.
maybe
I hate seeing
Dogecoin and
it.
Litecoin communities might be a better
Yeah,
focused.
exactly.
I think
I know that's a joke, but
if
that's
we
true.
start getting in a dogfight, and we're known as this community that peels off Bitcoin maximalists and converts them, and we actually have a product that if somebody starts to fight against us, if they fight for long enough, they get converted anyway. So I actually think that, like, especially with these I've made another simulator that I'm putting out, and it's like, and every single one that I put out, it's like, I know that I'm gonna be able to convert more Bitcoin maxis, and all I have to do is convert one in every 1,000, and we're going up in price. Because
I know, but how many people are we turning off? Like, how many people are we turning off? Especially the VCs. Like, we realistically need VCs. I know people have differing views on ETFs, but realistically, that's part of the game theory and the adoption curve. We need all these things, and all of these things that we need, they hold BTC. So we need to present the massive value proposition that Casper realistically has that doesn't affect BTC. Yeah, we are also a threat, but we should be downplaying that part for now and kind of uplifting the global sequencing layer that is more of a combative thing towards other layer ones like Solana and high scalable programmable layer ones that can facilitate stocks coming on chain and real estate and
but
stable
that's
coins.
gonna be
We're the
us.
best solution for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what we need to sell. We don't need to be fighting BTC when all the people that we need to be buying CAS are big holders of BTC.
I just think about, what did the Bitcoiners say to the fiat people, and then they didn't go, you know what, we can all work together. They said that your fiat is going to zero, and we're gonna pass you guys, and that was part of it. And then I had another little piece I was gonna say there, but yeah, I don't see how, if you're holding something that is provably going to do the job better, then I'm not gonna act like it's not true.
I think that's fair, but going to Dark Lord's point, it's not reality yet.
It's
So it's
timing.
provable, but it's not reality. At the reality as here and now, Bitcoin's far more large than us, and they are a better store of value than us, and they do have more security than us because they have more hash rate than us. So I do agree with Dark Lord on that point, where if you go in too hard with Bitcoiners, they'll just double down. And at the moment, they're winning. But I do agree with you, long term, if Kaspa manages to survive, because again, we've got our own problems that we do need to deal with. If Kaspa does survive beyond that, I do think the tides will turn. And it may even get to a point where Bitcoiners then actually rely on Kaspa, because Bitcoin's starting to, if they don't address their problems, they're going to start noticing.
This will be my
soon.
final point, I guess. It's just if you convert when you convert a Bitcoiner, they will not convert back. Just like when you convert a fiat person into Bitcoin, they do not go back to fiat. When you convert a Bitcoiner into Kaspa, they cannot unsee what they just saw. So I think the more eyes, the more controversy, the more buzz, the more like huge claims, because we have we can back it up actually, which is incredible. And it's actually it's never happened before where you can actually back up a claim against BTC. This is the first time it's ever happened. So yeah, that's I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna continue with the hostility, I guess.
Well, I get the feeling that even though a lot of them, will be driven by their ego, I think some of them will also be closet Kaspa holders.
I know it's for certain. I'm telling you, Michael Saylor has nightmares, and it has a K on it, and he goes, oh fuck! He wakes up with sweats.
I think we should split test, because we're decentralized like this. We should split test. We should let Crypto Oddie go on his massacre, his crusade.
Well, that's the beauty of decentralization.
Yeah, it's sort of like good cop, bad cop. It might actually work really well.
Yeah, totally. I mean, yeah, because there is an argument that we could be an L2 for Bitcoin and do all the other jobs, but I just like to say that our hash rate, like the fee market, is just too tasty for the utility, and the Bitcoin's fee market is gonna have some issues, and it's gonna be in like fucking 6 years. It's not far away at all. Yeah.
Awesome. Anyone else got anything to say on that?
I'll just close my point and just say I agree with everything you're saying. I'm only suggesting that the timing of it is wrong.
Right.
And I think for every BTC you convert, every BTC maxi you convert, you're probably turning off 50 who then immediately are just hostile towards CAS. And no matter the logic, they will be resentful towards CAS, like we are, obviously probably more rightly, but towards other communities like, what's that AI one called, Cubic or whatever it's called, we're hostile towards them. We've had one bad experience. They're a shitty project as well. I know it's a bad example, but that they will have that opinion towards us. Like they just will.
Right.
There will have been hundreds of BTC guys who will never look
Right,
at CAS numbers.
you're
They've seen
essentially
one
building
guy
a
talking
narrative,
shit.
a negative narrative.
Exactly.
Catch more bees with honey than you do with vinegar or something weird like that.
Yes, be kind and spread knowledge.
I think that is the perfect
All right, then
moment
I
to
guess I'll just
segue
keep on
off
putting
and
out
end it.
the simulations and stuff like that. Is that too hostile? You know what I mean? If the math shows
I
that
think the
they're fucked?
video, I think it was you that put out the video that, it kind of outlines the timeline of the development and the research behind Kaspa and how it stems from attempting to scale Bitcoin. I think that's kind of a better way of doing it, kind of building in that history.
That was an incredible video. Genuinely, that was so
Yeah,
good.
I guess so. Inside, I think I still come from from this angle, and I still know like internally how to catch with honey, but I think progressively I will, I think everyone might get naturally more aggressive if it becomes clearer. You know what I mean? It's like Bitcoiners, when they start to realize what Bitcoin was, they just got more and more aggressive over time, because you have this like clarity of like the numbers and like exactly what's going to occur in the future. And then I think that part is a little bit natural, but
When we're 100 billion plus in market cap, I'll be aggressive as fuck with you on the front line. Like I'm gonna be swinging for the fences. But right now, we are a tiny fish
Yeah.
in a big pond.
I think he's
And I
trying to
think,
say appeal to the human nature, appeal to the ego of the
yes,
Bitcoin
be
maxi.
manipulative,
Yeah.
be smart.
Right. Yeah, I got you guys. And that kind of reminds me of that Dale Carnegie book. So, you know,
Yeah,
I think you guys might be on to something.
for sure.
And then we can go on a killing spree at
And then at that point, I think it sells itself. I don't think we have to go on a killing spree. I think the technology just speaks for itself at that point. I think it will just snowball downhill.
yeah.
The way that we like coddle and foster every single Bitcoiner that comes in, though, is incredibly unique. Like when we get, it's like we're bringing them out of the matrix and unplugging them and being like, "You're safe now. You're safe now. Hello, do you want some Kaspa? Here, download Caspium. I'll help you out."
Well, I think this
It's because
Rajat debate coming up will be a really good for us for sure.
Right, like look at he's having the best time of his life converting to Kaspa. I know that's going to be the case for a lot of other guys as well, but yeah, you're right. It may be like it might be a situation pull one off to turn 50. So I'm gonna sit on this thought and let it mull so that I can,
There you
you
go.
know.
Oh, I've loved this open talk bit. We should do this a lot more often. It's been really, really good.
Every space, I think it's good to have this back and forth, and especially with different opinions as well. It creates a nice little conversation.
Especially now we've got a genuine Kaspa enforcer that is like let him off of his leash when we get to 100 billion.
It's a pit bull.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. But I love the energy. I think, and I do sympathise with that energy as well, because it is like, no, when we understand what we've got, we should fucking stick to our guns. But agree, maybe wean people in
It's
first.
not like they're gonna. Well, okay, who knows? I was like, if they start buying K heavy hash ASIGs and 51% are attack our network because they're scared or something, that would be also incredibly interesting and fun. But yeah, I couldn't see that happening. But
I think Kaspa Class done a really good post on that. I mean, I don't know, like, because I haven't verified the numbers of, I haven't, yeah, I
Well,
haven't probably
they
gone through
kept
the
trying to
numbers.
argue that point that the security is, the network is not big enough, and there's a security risk in how small the network was, and it's like we invite you to try. The network is there for anybody that wants to try these things.
They'd struggle to get the hardware.
Yeah, for sure.
For it, like and that's like the starting point. And then it's just, I don't know.
the question is,
I don't think
the
have the
question is, if you
resources.
see something that scares you that much, do you buy 100, 200, or sorry, if you do buy $400 million of hardware and try to crush the thing, or do you just join it?
Well, if it's you, probably you'd buy $400 million worth of hardware and destroy them.
Not if it scared me, dude. If something scares me, dude, I'm telling you, if something scares me and I'm in Kaspa and it's at like $1 trillion, and then something else comes around that genuinely beats Kaspa, I'm first of all gonna try to get us to hard fork, but secondly, I'll be like, yeah, no, I'm hoping to stay humble enough that I can see this type of things happening, because when I realized about Bitcoin and then all of a sudden jumped ship for something else, it's like but the thing is, to get a 10x improvement on something like Kaspa I cannot see a world where that would happen. Like 10x improvement on that is going to be a high order, and it would have to be another Jonathan Sompolinsky clone on steroids, and who made it, like
Which doesn't exist.
But we do have to be open to the idea that if it does come about, that's why we should always check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. And if better technology comes along, you have to accept it. But I think a lot of Caspians do have that in them, because a lot of Caspians were Bitcoiners that have found this new tech that is better. So here we are.
I hope this is the final form for the next, 200 years, and it takes humanity to a place that we couldn't conceive before we don't even need money maybe at that point, because it's such a utopia or some shit. But maybe not that. But maybe there's
I'll be so pissed if we get there. Like, we're just about to mass adoption, global adoption of Kaspa, and then they just nuke the fucking world. I'll be so annoyed.
Oh yeah, that's the highest likelihood. Shit.
Yeah. Awesome. Levendi, are we going to close this out? Because I am falling asleep.
Yeah. No, definitely. I'm getting requests for speakers for more to join. But guys, honestly, I'd love to sit here all night, but I'd be killing Chris and the CryptoPumpz. They're not off, unfortunately, tomorrow, as I am, so I can digest this with you. But look, you're more than welcome to join next week. We're gonna have another open mic session at the end of the space. It's gonna be a regular thing. So yeah, come back, jump on the stage, and we can continue where we left off.
For sure, man. Good from hearing from everybody.
I appreciate
Thanks
you
for
coming
putting
up,
this
man,
on, guys.
all of you. No, it's all good. And yeah, massive thanks to everyone who has come up and spoken. Massive thanks for everyone asking questions, and a massive thanks for the audience, because without you, we wouldn't have a show. And a massive thanks to CryptoPumpz. Won't forget him, because he live streams all of this. So in case our recording doesn't work, we've got it recorded. So massive props to that guy. He's a legend. So yeah, from me, I hope you came for the blockchain but stayed for the banter. And we'll see you next week.